watching him, I'll let him know and see if he has any. Ask if he has any ideas on how to get something of stones, so I could screw him up a little.
How personal does this item of stones need to be? To rate that, not unfamiliar with such ways, but are we talking lock of hair? Do you need his cane?
If you can get his cane, that would be hilarious. But it doesn't need to be something that big. A lock of hair would work, but again, probably not going to be an easy thing to get.
Could we sell him something and use the slugs that he gives us?
We could.
Because they were his?
We could do that. That's a good idea.
I mean, if you take his cane, it's not like he can chase after you.
That's true.
He could just be a fake cripple, you know?
Just walk really slowly away from him. Come on, buddy, you gotta want it. You gotta want it.
Oh.
Yeah, so we could do that. What could we sell him though?
I mean, does Stone sounds like a guy who smokes a tobacco pipe to me. I mean,
Yeah. Matt, can we like follow him around and see what he likes to do? If he
Sure.
like, visits any taverns or goes to any kind of shops
So
or anything?
tailing someone, that sounds like maybe. Well, I mean, do you want to make a roll for that?
Yeah, sure. Would that
I will assist.
Okay.
be survey?
Do
was
you
a-
do you want to make it a group action, or do you want to assist?
Explain to me group action one more time.
Group action, you both roll and you take the best result.
Okay.
But if you lead it and he rolls a 1 through 3, you take a stress. But the group action sort of implies that you're both going.
Okay, then
you're
yeah,
both
I would say
failing.
a group action would be better. And I mean, I only have 2 stress, so
Yeah.
would this be hunt, or would what would this be?
It sounds to me like Hunter Prowl.
I would choose hunt if given the option.
And I would choose Prowl if given the option, but
Well, luckily, you guys are given the option.
Yeah, I mean, I could go either way with this. I'll leave that judgment call to you guys as to who's leading and who's actually going to take the stress if somebody fails.
I have exactly 0 stress, so I could take it.
Well, I mean, if you, I was just kind of like keeping tabs on him. If you come to me and say like, "Hey, I need something of his for a ritual," then
Yeah.
I guess. But I will group action prowl.
Yeah,
With you.
Do you have like?
I don't have any points in prowl. I have 2 points in hunt.
Yeah, I only have 1 point in Prowl, so we should do it. I'm reading the description of the actions, and it sounds more like a hunt anyway.
Okay, I'll lead then.
Okay.
Or wait, do we if we're wait? So you could still lead even if we do hunt, right? That's how this works.
Thanks.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you could.
Okay. Yeah, I'll roll my hunt then. What kind of position is this at? Control or risky?
It's probably risky. You know, he's on the lookout for this sort of thing.
And standard effect?
Yeah, I mean, Crow's Foot is notoriously dark, particularly because the lamp blacks aren't really a fan of the electric lights that have been installed.
Oh,
1 4 and a 4 and a 1.
All right,
nice.
we got a 4 and a 1 for. Well, so
Take their lowest result above. You get another 1 from me.
yeah, so you get a stress, but
We succeed.
yes, you succeed.
I succeed.
Yeah.
Well, as a group, you succeed. The stress is sort of managing the group, and so let's see. So you.
That's still in there.
Oh God. All right. Well, stop messing with it, James.
I didn't add it again. It just I.
Oh.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
All right. That's enough of that. Stop.
Oh,
Can't skip if I'm not playing.
I think I cleared it from the local queue. So. All right. Yeah. Any ideas on consequences for how you might succeed?
Maybe he's been seen.
I was gonna kind of say, like, we're both kind of following him, and it's one of those
Yeah.
things where I'm more used to like the action of stalking and hunting than 13 is, so I duck like over to the side, or I immediately like kind of start talking to a
and I'm just still
like
in
a
the middle
merchant or
of,
something, and he doesn't
in the middle of the
realize it,
road.
so he's like
Yeah.
still walking forwards.
Yeah, but it's not really a consequence. I'm thinking either we tick a clock of some sort. Maybe you bump into somebody that you know would think it was weird that you were tailing somebody or tailing one of Ulf's men. Actually, I like that. I like that. What do you think of bumping into? How about you bump into?
How about we take Ulf's patience?
I mean, that's what I was.
Yeah, but I
sense.
mean, you're supposed to succeed at what you're trying to do, but
Oh yeah. Okay.
but take a consequence of some other kind. How about you bump into Phoebe Anvil, and she sees that you're who you're tailing, and instantly knows what's going on. She, I guess you were both at the bar when you met her,
Yep.
or 13 you weren't.
No, I wasn't.
Okay. So she recognizes Harrier and recognizes what he's doing, and then casually grabs his arm and pulls him into an alleyway. And she says, "Well, what is it that you have against Mr. Ironheart? Ironheart.
Ironborn. It's definitely Ironborn because we've done nothing but make Dovahkiin jokes about him.
Right.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I say, well, I happened. Matt, what was the name of the whorehouse that we went? The bathhouse. Sorry, that we killed that man in.
Pretty sure it's a whorehouse now.
It was just simply Comer's bathhouse.
Comer's bathhouse. I say, well, I happen to be particularly fond of Comer's bathhouse, and Ulf had a man murdered in front of me last time I was there, and it's not the same. I can't go back anymore. It's horrible.
I'm well aware of your handiwork at the bathhouse. I'm curious why you've got a beef with Mr. Ironborn.
Well, this, are we still in our territory, Matt, or are we outside now?
I'd say you've tailed him slightly outside. He's kind of meandering towards the docks.
Okay, so I say, well, our little, slice of heaven, if you will, well, we weren't the only one on the market for it. We managed to sneak it out from Mr. Ironborn, and you know how legendarily short his temper is. I figure why not get him off the board before he becomes more of a nuisance.
And she says, "Well, I would be careful who you tangle with, but if you're sure you can handle yourselves, as you proved in Night Market, I will leave you to it." But she gives you kind of like a shrewd, knowing look, like this is something she's filing away for later.
I give her a
They
wink.
gotta kill her.
I give her a wink and say, Miss Anvil, your concern is heartwarming. And I give her like not like a challenging look, but a look of like, I understand the game she's playing, and I kind of like, I got caught, but
Yeah.
I understand what she's
Sure.
You know. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I've also noted on the factions sheet that I'm considering her a faction, but
Okay.
haven't decided what tier or hold she has. But I've given you guys a 1 status with her.
She has a hold over my heart.
Aw.
Okay, so you guys successfully tail him to the docks, where it appears he's meeting with one of the lampblacks. You don't recognize the lampblack, but you recognize a couple of the thugs as like just generic thugs that are lampblack thugs that you've seen kind of around with lampblacks you do know. So, like you've seen these guys at Baz's place, and so you just assume this guy's a lampblack anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, I kind of like
yeah,
frown a bit. At, you know,
and
if he.
yeah, so he, I mean, like he kind of works his way into a warehouse with these guys, and there's 4 of them there.
Um,
I mean, you can just wait for him to be done with his meeting and go about his routine.
Could
I
try and
don't.
get closer and hear.
Yeah. How. I get not. I guess like kind of like well guarded is this place? Like, could we like go around like the back and listen? Is there like someplace we can get up on the rooftops? Because like I'm picturing Dishonored. That's my like mental image of this. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could probably climb up the side. You might get noticed by a few of the workers who are skulking around, but maybe not. It is nighttime. You know, we could have a. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get up to a ledge where there are some windows that hang partially open.
I'd look at 13 and say, "It's for your ritual."
but you're very obviously the better climber. And look at me. I'm wearing a 3-piece suit, wearing a top hat. This is not climbing wear.
I will point out that prowl is sort of the applicable skill here. And you said you had better
Yeah, but
prowl.
like I also don't want to get caught, so I'm trying to convince him.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow, great teamwork, guys.
Hey, you missed last session. We had tons of great teamwork then.
I was here last session.
Oh, you
Last
were?
Session
Yeah,
in
I was her bodyguard. Remember?
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, she missed before that. Holy
I-
crap!
Yeah, because I came in and was like, "Don't worry, I'll just protect her and won't cause any trouble," and then proceeded to shoot a man in the face. So
Yes,
Oh
definitely.
yeah.
Very good bodyguard action. You protected me so well from that potential threat. You don't know, he could have come at me with like a knife or something.
he could have. Yeah.
Yeah, no one knows.
Thinking Harrier's gonna have to climb here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
I mean,
like as 13 is like, well, I'm like, well, it's your ritual, and he's like, well, I'm wearing a 3-piece suit and I'm allergic to altitude and I don't
I can help you
like
get a
to
foothold.
do
Get
things. I just kind of like shake my head and start walking towards the nearest place that I can climb up.
Okay.
Um,
You find
Is
a
it-
like a gutter pipe that you can scale.
Okay. So you're gonna like, how does this thing work again?
well, I kind of have to think of a way that I could help you get the gutter pipe.
Oh shit, no, I don't have 4 on that. That's not what I want.
If you want to keep a lookout, so that you have to get
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah, I could do that. That's a good idea.
That I'll allow that for an assist.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of wander around the area, making sure no one gets too close, or if someone's about to get around the corner, I'll say, "Oh, hi, how are you doing? I Hello.
Hi, I'd like to distract you today.
Look, what's that over there?
All right, so take a stress to assist.
Okay.
And what are you using to? Are you still using hunt?
Oh, can I use hunt?
I
Well, I mean, half of it's listening in.
I
So,
thought you said prowl. Okay, yeah, I'll use hunt. Fuck yeah. Risky, or is this? This isn't desperate, right?
no, this is risky.
Okay. Standard effect.
Yep.
And so does assisting give me a bonus? Is that what happens?
Gives you a bonus die. Yeah.
Okay, we will get a bonus die, and we will do that. A 4.
Okay. Good thing you had the bonus die, right? So,
May the fourth be with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Claim
so,
that.
so you get your way up to the rooftop, and it's sort of a dual level roof. So you're on the lower roof where there's sort of slick slate that you're trying to make your way across to get to the windows, and you scrabble up there, but
Should I like kick some of it loose or something?
yeah, you kick a slate, whatchamacallit, shingle.
Shingle.
Yes, that's the word. Words are hard. You kick a slate shingle loose and send it crashing down. So we'll have a little alert clock.
13 doesn't soften the noise.
Yeah. Do I catch it with my face?
No, but you see it hit the ground, and you see some people look over and are like, huh? And they kind of move in that direction and stare down at it a little blankly. These guys are some sort of dim.
So do they video game guard? What was that?
Yes.
Must have been nothing.
But are they gonna look up at him, or do I like? Can I tell that?
It doesn't look like they really are. They're just like, oh, well, that happened. But
Okay, well, I'm just gonna walk over and be like, "Oh, that's mine. I'm sorry, I dropped it."
That's my shingle, you son.
No, I'll take it back up. Put it in one of my pockets and walk away.
Okay. Sounds like you're trying to.
Okay, so are they now following the man who straight up just like, oh, that's my shingle, and then like we're not supposed to be here.
Suspicious.
That's
Than a shingle falling from a roof, especially if it was a slate or clay shingle. Those things fall all the time.
I'm very well dressed. I'm meant to be here.
It sounds like you're
That's
trying to
awesome.
sway them.
Yeah, I could be their boss.
It sounds like you're trying to sway them. That
Yeah, well, did they react to this?
I'm suggesting that perhaps we should roll to find out.
Okay. Say risky standard, no bonus.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I did it anyway, so.
I was gonna kind of say this is maybe desperate, but because it seems like
It just changes the little thing in the bottom left.
well, it's supposed to dictate the level of consequence. Yeah, they're not buying it. So they're like, wait, what? And you've already walked away, but you've actually roused their suspicions quite a bit.
Yes, but to me, not hairier, right? See,
It's an overall alert level. Like they may still be kind of dim, like not realizing that you're covering for somebody who's on the roof, but they're like, wait, something just fell, and this guy doesn't belong here. And why is he picking up the slate shingle?
If only my effort time were longer than 7 sit going back to patrolling.
Yeah, so they're like, oh, what? And you're already around the corner, and they kind of.
I drop the slate. Well, I don't drop it out loud.
And then
place it on the ground and kind of
and you hear one of them say, "Hey, Ransford, what? Is there something fishy going on back there?" And so they're kind of spreading the word that maybe something's a little off, but they haven't bothered to tell the people are having the secret meeting inside
Yeah, of course.
just yet. Um,
So,
So-
I'm sorry.
No, you don't want to bother them. They're in a meeting.
well, yeah, they're
Yeah.
important.
Yeah,
So
don't bother the meeting.
yeah,
So Harrier has watched this interaction. His mouth is a little like hanging open. Of, like, I'm glad that this is the side chick that I have on the out of the 6 other people in the gang. Oh boy, 13. And I'm going to go and try and like sneak in.
I'm pretty sure this is
Not sneak in,
literally
not sneak in.
at the
Sneak
camera.
to a point where I can hear and/or slash see what the fuck is going on.
yeah, yeah, and it looks like uh, he's inspecting the contents of some crates. Looks like there's maybe some rifles that are packed away in these crates.
The quality of these rifles, would I put it as above fine? Would I call it a fine long rifle or like a very fine long rifle?
It's probably just okay, but
Not interested. I'm a
um,
man of discerning tastes.
It's
yeah.
just kind of like a wholesale box of rifles.
Well, these may be rifles that were intended for, the Bluecoats or the Imperium Army, or that they're in that they're having a secret meeting about these seems to point to the fact that these are illicitly gained.
Hmm.
Wait, so these
Suddenly
are the lamp
dawns on Harrier that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 of us, right?
In the whole
In the Canal Street Couriers.
yeah.
And Ulf has more than 7. And my rudimentary math skills tell me that's not good. If he's buying like boxes of guns for his guys.
I could take on more than 7.
Yeah, and if not, I can just open a portal to the demon world. So
I'm sorry. I'm gonna classify myself as a non-combatant. Is that
Yeah.
allowed?
I'll take them all on by myself if you want.
Okay, so
I've got a rage essence file.
I'm gonna keep watching and listening and see if there's any like telltale like, boy, Ulf can't wait to give these to his men so they can go shoot the Canal Street Couriers, or like, other video game logic like that.
So Stone calls the man he's meeting Sydney, and
That's a girl's name.
or just as likely a last name. And
Or the name of a city.
so he says, "Yes, Sydney, this looks good, but you sure you get away clean? I don't want a trail leading back to us." And Sydney, who's a big burly guy, says, "Yeah, we made sure there weren't any witnesses."
Sydney, the big burly guy. Good.
With the heart of gold.
Yeah, he's just a teddy.
And
How does that
so
work?
he picks them out, talks about how fine they look, and then says, "Yeah, this looks all right. We'll take delivery. You can expect payment in a couple days. We'll send one of our runners from the there's an orphanage that kind of doubles as a
Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to kill a kid. That's messed up.
no. So in Crowsfoot there's Strathmill House, yes, which is sort of a it trains young orphans for jobs in the docks or workhouses.
Child
But
labor.
some of them are trained to be runners and lookouts for the gang, but for a price. So
Okay.
Who who,
Okay.
who decided that they would be me and write that?
I read that in the Liar's voice from Skyrim.
Wasn't that kind of my backstory for D&D? We take orphans in and train them, and then I got them a bunch of apprenticeships, and now I'm adventuring.
Yeah, kind of.
We don't like the word child slave. We prefer young worker.
Yeah, there's no such thing as child labor
Yeah.
laws in Duskwall.
Duskwall. Yeah, there's okay. I mean, I'm gonna keep. I'd like take a mental note of this all down. And I'm gonna keep listening until it looks like that he's gonna be leaving. Did he? When did he say that the runner was gonna be coming?
Couple of days.
Okay.
Okay, and then yeah, so Stone makes his way out towards the street, and then kind of meanders his way along the docks up towards a more familiar looking building that you have heard is Ulf's hideout.
Okay. I'm gonna wait until he is gone, and like the lamp black people are like cleaning up, or not cleaning up, but kind of like going about getting done with the meeting, to hop down where 13 is supposed to be, and then meet up with him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Just collecting shingles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
don't know
I
when
hop
you'll
down,
need
and
a shingle.
you can almost tell that through the bandana he's smiling. And I say, I think I found us our next score, my friend.
Really?
Yes, and it's not selling shingles.
And 13 just kind of looks at the ground and kicks one of the little shingle pieces away.
So I think it's time we got back to our friends.
I'm just gonna do this because I'm mean. 13. Why don't you make a fortune roll?
Oh yeah, okay. Just
As I see you like bring your foot back, there's a slow motion. No, you fucking moron! This literally we just almost got us caught dead last time.
so, number of dice 1.
Yeah.
Good. And
Can the spirit? Good. I'm so glad that this is who you are as a person.
the unlucky number 13. Yeah.
Harrier just kind of like his eye twitches a little bit.
All right. So
All right, I'm getting ready to open the door to the demon realm right now.
a couple of the thugs look over at you and say, "All right, hey, you're gonna have to clear out of here right now, Mister." And they're rolling up their sleeves, and they look at Harrier and say, "Yeah, yeah, you too, friend."
I look at 13 and just like under my breath say, I just want you to know that you brought this on yourself. And I grab him by the throat, not like actually choking him, but like looking as if I am, and just start like hauling him away and just say, I owe you boys around next time I see you at Esme. At Esme's places.
Minstrel's meat.
Minstrel's Mead.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the two of you. Do I want to give you guys heat for that?
Yes. I mean, it was a 1.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
So yeah. So somebody tack some heat onto the crew sheet, please.
And then after we're gone, I look at 13 and say, How do you deal with my people? You deal with demons and kick shingles at guards. Most bad, actually, like in-game is like whisperer an actual, like, is somebody a whisperer like Gandalf is a wizard? Like, is that, or is that just like the class name?
It's a slang for people who do that kind of work, but maybe not a commonly used one. I don't know.
I would doubt they're like a ancestral spirit.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's as much as like hound or cutter. would be used. Oh, he's a cutter. Just kind of like, oh, he's somebody who beats people's faces in.
Yeah. So it's like, most whisperers like you don't last long. You need a certain edge of not that to survive long in your line of work.
And I just kind of brush the rest of the shingle dust off of me and say, well, I'm still around. And that's pretty much all he says, not giving you much to work off of, and he keeps walking back to the hideout.
I roll my eyes and kind of start following.
You get flashbacks to Amadorn.
Yeah, I was going to ask if the spirit of Vatha could give us an extra bonus die there, Matt, but
All right.
Are you just gonna Jar Jar Binks your way through this?
Probably.
oh my god, you don't even know. You have no idea. You have no fucking clue.
All right.
We haven't even gotten started yet.
All right. I'm going to switch gears to Biddy in just a minute. But let's take a quick break. I need to grab a drink.
I was actually going to say the same thing.
All right. So I'll be right back.
Now that he's gone, time to mess with the song queue.
We're not gonna vote the way you want us to vote.
Doesn't matter, I can still queue things, it'll eventually play. Okay.
It will eventually play.
Thanks. Figure out.
Okay, I'm back. Biddy, you there?
Yep.
All right. So what you got for me? What are you doing?
Now that I have successfully gotten my moonshine contact,
Mhm.
I would like to try and peddle my moonshine to both of our tavern friends.
Okay.
Because I would like to maybe not spend a whole coin on moonshine, but I'd like to spend some money and buy some moonshine and kind of be like, hey, Carla, I've got some pretty good stuff. Would you be interested? And I'll do the same for Esme.
Okay. So a little bit of background on what Elin has offered you. He says they're trying to move something that is basically Leviathan blood rum, but people just call it Cup of Than, as in Leviathan.
Yeah.
And it's got some pretty gnarly side effects. Most people hallucinate or get like a little high in addition to drunk from it. So
it's basically. I just said the word green fairy. Why can't I think of the word?
absinthe,
Yes.
a little bit less lethargic and more violent. So, but yes, it definitely is in the same vein as the Green Lady. So, so who you trying to sell first to?
Well, I will get a couple of crates and not a couple of crates. I guess I won't buy anything yet. I'll go to the tavern owners and be like, hey, would you be interested or know anyone who would be interested in some Leviathan? Because I know where you can get some on the DL down low.
Yeah, so Cup of Than, cup
Cup
of
of Than.
yeah, it's kind of what sort of like spotted tea,
Yeah.
But
Anyone want a cup of Than?
Right.
I know where I can get you some pretty cheap, pretty on the DL. You know, not paying those nasty taxes and fees the government likes to try and do.
Oh, this stuff's straight up illegal.
Oh,
Sort
lovely.
of. Yeah. So, they. So you're talking to Clara first?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, how do you picture Clara?
Kind of like a very stout, short, older lady that has like maybe like a scar on her face from like a bar fight. And she's motherly, but she's like the kind of mother that hit you with a spoon if you like tried to get a cookie or something early. She'd just like whack you.
Okay, so stout older lady,
Yeah.
um,
She's seen it to her thing or two.
stern, motherly, but
Runs
still
a tight
kind of warm.
ship. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So she gives you one of those looks like, are you are you sure you know what you're getting into? Like it's sort of shrewd, sort of maybe what do I want to say? Sort of like she's slightly admonishing you, but she's still interested. She's running a business, right? So,
Yeah.
and she says, well, I think we could negotiate a sale of that. Sure. She she looks up and down the bar, making sure nobody has been overhearing. Leans in close and says, "I've got some clientele that ask for it on occasion, and I've run dry."
Oh, really? I can maybe help with that.
She says, "If you're a regular hookup, I'd be pleased to sort of quietly spread the reputation that I might have a little bit beyond the typical bar fare, sort of a
Yeah.
differentiator, if you will."
Oh, yeah, yes. Every little bit counts. It's the reputation that brings people in, you know.
Yeah. She gives you an appraising look, and then she says, "So, what kind of how much are we talking here?"
Quantity or price?
Both, I suppose.
Uh, would I know how much a bottle of moonshine costs?
You could basically surmise that it would, a case would probably go for about a coin. So
So a little under a coin. So if I charged a coin, that would seem reasonable for a case.
yeah, well, you'd be getting it for cheaper. You'd profit probably about a coin per case.
Okay. So if I said a coin and a slug,
Yeah,
plus,
I mean,
plus a
so
moving fee.
yeah, I mean, this is just kind of out of character. You can come to an agreement
Yeah.
on the price and stuff.
Yeah.
The details aren't really that important. So
Yeah. And how soon would you like your first case?
she gives a shrug. She says, "As soon as you can get it over here, there's some crates in the back under a tarp. Mostly looks like garbage. If you leave it on top of there, I can be sure it finds its way inside." She's talking about the alleyway behind
Yeah.
the bar.
Does that butt
a
up
good
to the
good place
canal
to slip
then,
it in.
maybe?
It's probably like across the street and down some stairs, and you might have to. Well, I mean, just some people carrying a crate through the streets, but
Yeah.
it you would be exposed a little bit getting it back there.
Okay. All right. I would like to go talk to Elin and try and negotiate as cheap as crate of Capo
Than
uh
Leviathan.
couple of than as I can.
Right.
Right.
Are you gonna talk to Esme first? Kind of do the same.
No, yeah, I guess, but I kind of only want to do like, I guess, yeah, I give her a price if I bought 2 crates instead of 1. Yeah.
You will, yeah. So I mean, I think, um, so Clyra, did we say what her bar is called?
No,
Okay.
we haven't named Clara's bar.
So she would order herself probably 3 crates,
3
So-
crates. Okay.
and then we can just fast forward. You know that Esme would want a similar amount, probably 4 crates.
4 crates. So I need 7 crates.
You guess that would probably keep them flush for a while, and they'd probably keep it in their basement, you know, or their cellar for a time. But so you might have to find other bars, other customers if you wanted to do this on the regular.
Okay. Well, I mean, just kind of getting our name out there, getting this
Yep.
moving a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Elin, he says, yeah. So the way we're gonna work this is there's a shipment that we can deliver up the coast by boat. There's a small grotto along the shore to the west that we can stuff it in. It's outside the barriers, but shouldn't give you too much trouble.
Oh, lovely. Okay. I will enlist some sturdy hands to help me then.
And you know just from living in Duskball that you'd probably have to get past Harbor Patrol with it as well.
Okay. Okay. Would our kind of canal-sized boat make it out there, or would I enlist like a larger boat?
I'm picturing that the Paralicious is small enough to fit in canals and can blend in with canal boats, but is actually pretty seaworthy.
Okay. Excellent.
Won't make you get 2 separate boats.
Good, because I was about to say I don't know how this would happen if we have to get a different boat.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I guess we have to go. Who all wants to come on the boat with me?
I mean, if you said that you needed like someone to give you a hand with moving the stuff around, Harry would offer.
So it sounds like we've got competing scores here.
Oh wait, is this?
Well, we don't have to do them. We can do one and then the other. Like this is not something that's like time bound.
The one that I was going to tell everybody about is it has to be in a couple days.
Yeah, we have.
But I don't know if we've gotten back yet. So
Yeah.
Okay.
We can fast forward to whatever scene you want. You know, gathering up, going over sort of what you've learned in your downtime.
Yeah. We
Griffin,
could say,
did you want to squeeze in anything in before we kind of talk about these?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
It's just gonna be drinking, and that's about it.
Right. So I mean, this is entirely up to you how you guys want to go about.
Actually, I would love to start a clock to gaining Phoebe's favor, if that would be possible.
Yeah. You talking about like a long-term project, or?
Yeah.
I mean, the way to gain her favor is to increase your status by doing scores for her.
Oh no, personally, not with the.
oh, you want to woo her?
Oh, you're wooing
wants- yeah.
Phoebe.
he
Okay.
wants to touch your butt.
Yeah. So do you want to keep that as a personal clock then?
Sure.
We'll call it an 8. She's kind of a tough cookie.
I'm gonna need some milk.
God. So I picture us now kind of just chilling in our abandoned canal
Yeah.
spot. We're just
oh,
kinda
by the
chilling
way-
around a fire or something.
By the way, I dug this up, figuring that this would be a good
Yeah.
image for what we're going for the
Uh,
hideout.
shotgun
Yeah,
room for the room with the big bed and the table.
That basically looks like exactly what I pictured. It's really crazy.
Yeah, kind of me too. So I was pretty thrilled
Wait.
with it.
Is that
So
like a
we're
hidden compartment that I have in my room? Which is yes, now my room.
ah,
That is
It looks like it. Sure.
awesome.
I
Uh,
call that room with like a spider web and no bed.
You mean the cells?
Oh, that was that? Yeah, I call it the cells.
ah,
Um,
shouldn't I get a room?
Yeah, you can have the one with the two little sleeping bags.
you can sleep next
Oh,
to the
yeah.
canal. Sleep next to
I'll
the canal.
I'll sleep in the Paralicious. Just
Yeah.
in the boat. Get a hammock and I'll just stay in the boat.
Just take a blanket, throw it over the water. It's a water bed.
It's a waterbed.
So that's. I mean, these conversations typically happen back in the hideout while you guys are figuring stuff out. And this is really meant to be a big sandbox. It's mentioned a few times in the rules. It's right on the back of the book, the physical copy. That this is a sandbox. You guys determine your own priorities and what you think is going to pay off for you, how you want to advance your crew. Things you haven't touched on so far that I'm just calling out. You don't have to touch on them right now. Is expanding your holdings, be it turf or the other holdings around it. So like,
Well,
Well, I mean,
I thought
Ulf's
that's
got
like
some holdings, right? If we take him out, I assume we get whatever he had.
you might have to fight for them, but yes, you could.
oh yeah, that's fine. I'll fucking murder people. But like that was
We'll murder children and cripples.
I mean, once
They're
you
like
go to
animals,
war,
so we'll slaughter
yeah,
them like animals.
once you go to war, it might be pretty easy to take turf from him. He probably doesn't have great holdings. Like he probably doesn't have a luxury fence. You might have to work towards that. But you guys haven't put in any time to that or getting cohorts. So I'm just kind of letting you know that there's more to engage with on the crew side. Not that you have to. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, the thought process was that like if Ulf already doesn't like us, we kick him out of his place and then we take his stuff, making us a little bit more solidified, and then from there we like branch. So we're not just like one little neighborhood.
Yeah.
Was what my like thought process is, but
sure. And by the way, taking turf makes it easier for you to increase your tier. Your tier increases when your rep bar fills up, and you can permanently tick one of the turf boxes on your rep meter by claiming turf. And somebody's messing around with the rep. I think you guys had 3, right?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
it was like 3 or 8. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we had all the rep.
Somewhere between 1 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 10 and we were at tier 4. So
An indescribable amount of rep.
Yeah. So the way advancement in tiers works is you've got a stronghold on tier 0, meaning when you fill your rep bar, you get a weak hold on tier 1. When you fill your rep bar again, you get a stronghold on tier 1. But there can be a push and pull. Like you piss off the right people, and they might go after your rep and start slandering you, and make it a little tougher. Try and knock you down a peg unless you're good at defending your turf. So
Yeah.
but
I'm glad you explained that because it makes more sense now. But I was working towards more than just like I want to kill somebody. Fuck all.
right, and the tier is the stand-in for quality across the board for you and your gear and your cohorts and everything. So your pet will level once your crew levels in tier. But that's not to say you can't earn upgrades via the crew advancement XP. So
Yeah.
and that we'll do as a group. But I'll just make suggestions. It's really up to you guys what you want to do.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I mean, like as soon as we all like convene again, I would basically say, how would you guys like our new, or, our next hit to literally be taking money from Ulf just by intercepting a runner?
That'd be nice.
And it turns out Stone has been doing some on the down low business with Sydney, one of the Lampblack boys.
I can't believe that all the Lampblacks could be in on this. Baz certainly likes us.
Yeah. So, I'm just saying.
so if you
that we-
intercept the runner, that would delay the sale, and the guns would have nowhere to go.
And we could take
And
them
it sure would be a shame to just have that merchandise laying there. Anybody could get it. That would be extremely irresponsible.
I
Seems
believe.
to me to, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's another blow against Ulf, and his neck of the woods is starting to look like our neck of the woods.
And if you
Soon enough.
return the rifles to their proper owners, they
for a
might
home.
Yeah.
appreciate that quite a bit.
Yeah, disembodied voice. You're right.
I've if you guys have seen, and I'm not like honestly, I just made this up on the fly, but probably because I've been watching a bit of Peaky Blinders, and if you've seen the first season of that, it's not a dissimilar situation, I suppose.
Yeah, yes, voice in my mind. How correct you are.
I thought I told you to stop getting my head.
Does everybody hear that?
Sorry, I'll shut up so you guys can stay in character.
It's just this otherworldly voice being channeled through me.
Yeah, he opens his mouth and that's what comes out. So I'm gonna basically relay everything that I heard. That it's gonna be coming in a couple days. It's gonna be one of the kids from the orphanage that we all know about.
That's not weird and otherwise out of character for this area.
Yeah, and other than that, I'm going to suggest that we make sure that I mean, I am, believe it or not, Taikarosi or no, I am against killing children. So I say that we just hey, we could even convince him to work for us if the kid seems like he'd be worth it.
Okay.
He's young. I doubt that he really has much personal investment in the business other than getting enough food to eat.
Yeah. I love providing for the youth of our neighborhood. We're such a charitable organization.
Just gonna let you know, if shit goes down, I will kill some children.
It's that kind of conviction that I have come to admire from you. That and the amazing ability to improv with but a monocle that you have displayed.
Now, could you tell me more about those shingles, were they?
And 13 just kind of walks out of the room.
Well, gang, in otherwise exciting but not equally as important news, I've actually got our first gig as real smugglers set up.
Well.
Don't everybody cheer at once.
13
Which
peeks
is
back.
Woo! Yeah!
Which is
Go
our
get 'em.
job as our crew. Technically, we do smuggle things.
Well, you could switch to assassins.
Yeah, we did kill someone, so.
It's time, guys.
You should probably answer that.
Yeah,
I
Well-
should. I'm sorry. I don't know what's.
I think this
Yeah, just put it on speaker.
this stream is probably going to get flagged as for copyright violation now. I've been using Creative Commons music for that purpose, and now I've got ringtones.
Yeah.
Ringtones to contend with.
Ringtones Inc. is going to be like, hey, fuck you, this stream.
Yeah, you don't have rights to that.
I heard. I don't know
We're
if it's
gonna
default.
monetize the one view you've got on this particular stream.
Is that like a retro, like 8-bit AT&T ringtone default on the phones now?
Pretty sure it's just the iPhone.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the default iPhone.
Well, I know hers was, but like there's like a 8-bit version where it makes it sound like it's from like some NES game.
Oh,
I actually know what you're talking about.
I heard someone the other day have that, and I thought it was really cool.
maybe somebody's
I don't
just
know
a
if that
fan
was
of chip
default
tunes. I want to get the old Nokia ringtone on my phone.
Oh God. I want my phone to start up and go, "Hello, Moto."
I'm sure you could get an app for that. All right. So,
In other news, I've got a date with Phoebe. She just doesn't know it yet.
honest
Trusting your
to
character,
God,
I believe that is not as creepy as it sounds.
honest to God, the setup and like I'd say 75% of this has been complete improv. Like Phoebe Anvil is improv, but I like where she's going, and like I like how she's kind of been set up to be this mysterious character that just kind of showed up to give you that job.
Griffin is hitting on.
Yeah, that now Griffin is enamored with. So it sounds like maybe a small score to stop the runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will point you to the let me get one of your character sheets open. To the bottom of your character sheet, there is a section on gathering information.
Yep.
It's kind of where maybe you want to think about like how you want to set up do some of your homework before you do your engagement roll for nabbing this poor child off the street.
Yeah. So, Matt, what echoes in the demon field?
What echoes in the demon field?
What do I know from the demons?
I'm sorry, I couldn't call y'all.
Okay. So I think we settled on a small score to stop the runner,
Okay.
and so that would require an attune to get the what echoes in the demon field.
Yeah. But wait, what does that even entail? Like, what echoes in the demon field? Would that give me anything useful?
So I think one of the core conceits of being a whisper is that you are naturally predisposed to be able to access it just by concentrating or
Yeah.
performing some small inconsequential ritual. I don't know. How do you picture you attuning? And everyone can attune. It's not a big secret how to do it, but you've put the time and effort into it. It's like anyone can fight, but your tutor has probably put the most time and effort into figuring out how to stab somebody in the face.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say I'm wearing a fine spirit mask, just in case shit goes down.
Mhm.
Yeah. It says it like helps me with stuff.
Yep, you've got that to leverage.
Yeah.
You've also got other stuff you can leverage, I think. But
Are you wearing the monocle on top of the mask?
Hey, I don't have a monocle.
the monocle's glued onto the mask.
I mean, we could do that if you want me to, but it's not exactly what I was picturing. Yeah, so kind of what I'm thinking is I would go into my room and do the whole meditation thing with Om and all that.
Yeah.
And just kind of have one of those, those movie sequences where you're flying through the air, but it's not. It's just you're flying through the air in this demon field, and now I can see what's happening in a different part of the world.
It's an astral projection.
Yeah, that's the words I was looking for.
Okay, but in doing so, it's like sending up a flare, like, "Hey, demons, I'm over here."
I can assist him by whispering, right? That's how you do this.
Well, actually, maybe my strange friend Nerix, the possessor demon, could
Uh-huh.
help me.
Yeah, no, I mean, like he'll watch your back while you're in there, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like that's probably how you know him, like better than other people would know him. Like most people would know him because he's dragging them across the floor down into the basement where they are never seen again.
Yeah.
You know
I know
him
him because he's my friend.
because you hang out in the demon what's it called?
The demon field.
Yeah, you hang out in the demon field with them. So or yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a yeah, and so you kind of have a connection in the demon field with him, and he can kind of block for you while you're in there.
Yeah. So I'd probably call on his help not to get, you know,
Demon.
demon while
Right.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because you know, your soul leaving your body, you know, other stuff can get in there, so I don't really want that to happen.
Well, that's why you've got your demon mask on, right?
Yeah, you're right. Look at that. They're scared of my mask.
Mhm.
So yeah,
You've got your
maybe
demon mask and your demon bane charm, so
yeah,
you're
exactly.
kitted out for this kind of work.
I have
Hey Matt,
Yes.
can I assist? Like, can I just help out? Like, does me being like part demon do anything for this? Like, do I know more about the demon field than like the average Joe?
Did you put any points into
Oh,
it?
is that? Actually, let me check. Thought I did.
I've actually seen an interesting character build where a hound dumped a bunch of points into it too, and just kind of used that as their hunt ability essentially.
Yeah, no, I'm. Oh no, that's what I'm. Okay, no, I don't have any in there right now. That's what I'm planning on spending my resolve in because it sounds fucking badass.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, for now you could assist, but and I would say that um, it might change the level of effect because you're probably naturally predisposed. I don't know. Do you think that that's actually true that you are predisposed because there's quote unquote demon blood in you, or is it just quote unquote demon blood and people
The
just kind of assume that about you because you look weird?
the way that I had imagined it, or at least from the house that Harrier's from, is that it is not quote unquote. It is very much they have dealings with demons or
Okay, so
trade with or
they're pretty
like
much
there's a
straight up
reason.
tieflings.
Yeah, like there's a reason that Harrier looks the way he does.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they're going into the demon field. Would I be able to give them like an item to help out? Because I have a demon bane charm.
I also have one. I think does everybody start out with one of those, Matt?
I don't think everybody
I
does.
don't know. I guess I do actually.
You do?
Spirit Bane. Yeah, it would be Demon Bane, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Well, yeah. I think some of you probably have Spirit Bane, some of you probably have Demon Bane, but for all intents and purposes, it's the same in this game. So, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know it's not an uncommon item for these classes.
Bless you.
My brother says thank you. Thanks.
So yeah, actually, I don't think Angel has one, which is kind of funny. The leech doesn't have the
The
charm.
angel doesn't have a demon bane charm.
Ah,
Well, any sensible person in this day and age carries a Demon Bane charm.
That's right.
God, they're right outside our gates.
That's right. Yeah, both of the whatchamacallits, spiders have them as well. So looks like just the leech doesn't.
He's too sensible to believe in that. He's like the doctor, right?
Yeah, or
Science.
sure. Okay, so it sounds like you're attuning.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to astrally project to find out, I don't know, maybe what kind of route that these the Ironborn people. Is that what we're
Yes.
calling them? Do they have, like, an
It's
actual
Ulf
name?
Ironborn, but his men are called the Rain Cloaks.
Okay, so
Or the Rain Capes, I apologize.
yeah, so I'm gonna try to find out what route they're giving this kid, so that we can kind of ambush them without having to guess.
Okay. So at the bottom of the handouts, there's a folder called Districts, and
Yes.
um, so it may take a little bit of a. So
Oh, the
basically,
Stratmill House.
yeah. So the Strathmill House is where the runners are from, and so that's kind of where you'd probably begin your investigation in the spirit realm. So go ahead and attune. I guess with. Are you going to spend the stress there, Harrier?
Yeah, I'll take a stress to help him out.
Okay.
I also have a question. So when he's looking into the spirit realm, does he not see the physical realm anymore, or does he see the spirit realm added on to the physical realm? So, like, if I walk in front of him and like hold up 3 fingers and say, "How many fingers am I holding up?" when he's in the spirit realm, does he not see me, or like, what? How does that work?
I'll leave that to our whisper to answer.
Yeah, the way I kind of pictured it is, when I'm doing this kind of astral projection thing, my whole, like, my consciousness goes with that projection, but I can control where it goes. So if you did that,
It's like the
And-
Doctor Strange movie, right?
yeah, and if my consciousness was still in the in the room, I could see how many fingers you're holding up, but I would not be able to react because I'm in this demon field.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way I pictured it.
It's canon
so I'm
now.
assuming, yeah, it's canon. Um, because of my possessor demon friend, the position will be controlled. Or are
Okay.
we still going risky on? I guess it's kind of risky, but
Does it give you an extra die?
yeah, for that. Like, what's the way we want to do that?
Yeah, no. So I think the position is still risky because stretching yourself that far,
Yeah,
and this is the demon plane, so
it's not a great place to go
not
vacation.
not a friendly place. But I'd say the effect is up a notch.
So great.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the bonus die from Barrier. And we roll. Yeah, I get it.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that, the
Nice.
great effect with a 6. Too bad I couldn't crit it, but
Hey, you may be clumsy in the physical realm.
exactly, this is how I stick around, Harrier.
Yeah. I guess as your like consciousness is like leaving the initial area of the room, Harrier. So like if we're saying that there's like an echo of everybody, I guess you'd kind of see that the like veins that stretch down Harrier's face continue down, like down his neck, across his torso, and down. The veins in his arm are the same like void purpley black as the ones on his face.
Wow, void purple, like the Warhammer purple.
Yeah, kind of like a dark black purplish
Yeah.
void kind of color.
Glowing slightly.
Yeah, I guess actually they would be glowing.
Luminescent.
Mm,
Are they bioluminescent?
very evocative word.
Or are they other words I remember from grade 10 science?
No, he is not bioluminescent.
Okay, so yeah, you make your spirit way over towards the orphanage, and you actually see a couple of possessor demons inhabiting the orphanage. that you're able to nimbly avoid detection of.
If they see me, I just give them the whole like the A-OK sign.
No, you're like full on stealth mode,
Okay.
like moving through.
Hey, you,
And you're not like floating like you like Doctor Strange would. Like you're physically there.
Yeah.
Like the laws of physics still apply to you, and maybe kind of the demons, but you're able to avoid their detection.
okay.
And you like you're able to eavesdrop in on some conversations that the kids are having with their mistresses and masters in the hall itself. And there's a woman named Sylvia Etherington, who's one of the mistresses of this place, and she beckons one of the children over, and she says, the Ironborns have requested you again. And she says, so, sorry, Kirkland, you're going to take delivery from their place of business, and you kind of presume that to be their hideout. So you're going to take delivery from their place of business and deliver it over to what is it called? I'm sorry. I've got to look something up really quick. Yeah, let's just kill you in a moment. Basically, she's telling him to deliver it to the meeting place where, for those of you who are here, the first session where Bazos was grilling you as to whether or not you were in with him or not. So you've got a pretty good, clear location from your eavesdropping. So this little boy Kirkland, is being told to make the run, and she says, and you'll do this at the 6th hour after midday.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you did that without consequence. You're able to skulk your way in, listen. It took you quite a while to get to that point, but you lucked out and were able to hear the assignment directly. And Kirkland is so it's basically set up for the following day.
Okay. So I kind of dip on out of there and run back to our hideout.
Cool.
So yeah, I tell everybody else, they're tomorrow at 6 hours after midday. The guy is Kirkland, he said. Anyway, the runner is gonna be leaving Strathmill House and go to this unknown place that I don't know the name of because I wasn't here that session. But
It's basically it's a coal warehouse inside of Crowsfoot.
okay. So, yeah.
We'll say that it's over here.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have been watching the screen, but I'm kind of playing with the tokens as we
Yeah,
play.
I saw the rook walking
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. So just kind
So
of
it's
give you a
kind of
sense of what's
across
going down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's actually not a far trip, considering that the start is basically over here.
Is this a particularly dense area?
Crowsfoot is, I mean, all of Duskwall is pretty dense. Crowsfoot is among the denser places, but usually there's like multiple tiers of buildings stacked on top of one another on these blocks, streets running on top of one another. So, um, because the lightning barriers are sort of where people can settle, they build
Yeah.
up. So.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be too hard to just kind of like hide in an alleyway or between buildings or behind something and snatch the kid.
No, I wouldn't say it would be too hard. Are you guys ready to do this, or do you want to gather some more information first?
I would ask
I'm a kitty.
how, like, if there was any mention of a guard, or if they're, like, have we heard anything about if the streets along that route are going to be guarded or
Yeah.
generally left alone?
Or shadowed or something like that.
It's hard to say where the gangs will be roaming because the Lampblacks and the Red Sashes are at war, and Crowsfoot is the battleground. And who's to say that Ulf's men aren't out and about as well? The idea behind using kids and these orphans as runners is that they're small, they go unnoticed, they can move quick, and most people don't pay attention to them.
Oh, too late for this kid. We are going to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that we have one more day to gather information if we. I
Well,
don't really know what else we could gather per se, though.
we could kind of like see what the most likely route would be. Like, go like chill out in that area, just kind of walk around, see where the smaller alleys are and stuff like that.
You could try and find out what kind of candy he likes and lay a trap.
I'm gonna use the gather information is how can I blend in here? Is it like a marketplace, a docks? Is it common sight to see people just kind of strolling around?
Okay, so I'd say if I think you kind of get a good lay of the land as you're moving around. We can leave kind of the details to the actual score itself. In terms of like what you're trying to do right now, just in a meta sense,
Yeah,
is set up your engagement roll.
yeah.
The engagement roll is going to determine how well you guys are set up to get this kid.
Okay, yeah, but it's in the gather information, like in my area, it says how can I blend in here. So I would know I would know how to dress a certain way. I'm not gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Is kind of what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Yeah. That's good. Although I'd say that it's probably pretty common. Like if you're just on the streets on any given night, you can probably blend in. Is particularly in the docks and Crowsfoot and most areas where it's not particularly wealthy,
Yeah.
simply because your personal stash is not very big. As your stash grows, you'll be able to blend in with wealthier crowds.
Yeah.
And overall, again, your stash is how well like you're going to retire, and how much money you have to splash around. So like you might have to make a fortune roll based on your stash to determine if you can bribe somebody.
Yeah.
So while it's nice to have coin on hand, consider putting it into your stash. You can pull it back out of your stash, but at a rate of 2 for 1. So you lose some if you try and pull it back out, but it's nice to squirrel it away. So, but I was speaking kind of mechanically just because you guys are still new at this. When you look at the engagement roll, you get bonuses if this is bold or daring, or if it's overly complex, you get negatives. The details, you get some pretty good detail on the target, so you'll probably get a bonus die for that. If you have friends or contacts that are helping you out, or enemies or rivals that are interfering, that can affect the engagement roll. And there's other elements. So yes, figuring out if you can blend in is also a good idea. But Biddy's pretty adept at this. Is your turf essentially. It's not your turf, but it's close enough that if you're on the street, it's good to assume that you're blending in well.
Okay. All right. Well.
So, yeah, I mean, you see dock workers, you see, there's a few hawkers, people who are trying to sell their drugs and whatever else there is to be sold, and there's a few people that are just your typical workhouse workers that are trying to get through their day. So then those are probably the least conspicuous. So, anybody else gonna do any more gathering, or do you want? I think we're probably pretty much at the engagement roll for this score.
I mean, I personally don't. I think that. I guess we don't plan out, right? I wouldn't say like where I think I should be yet.
No, I mean, like I kind of infer some things from the engagement roll, and yeah, I mean, you can always push back a little bit if I'm getting it completely wrong, but
Okay.
it's meant to put you right into the action.
Yeah. Okay. So then,
rather than laboring over, where and who and how.
yeah. Okay. So then I have nothing to say.
Okay. So there's no engagement roll button. Somebody can just make a fortune roll. So
Fucking not Desmond.
Me. I'm
All
good
right.
at fortune rolls.
Griffin, you can make the fortune roll. I wouldn't say this is particularly bold or daring. You're accosting a child.
Hey, we're offering him a new job opportunity, Matt. We're not accosting him.
We're vigorously. No.
I would say it's bold or daring because, unbeknownst to you guys, I'm secretly planning on how to murder him if it goes wrong. Tries to run.
I think it's bold. It's a bold move, as in we're fucking with this dude again. Not necessarily accosting a child, but like we are gonna go against little patience. We're still fucking with this guy, and I feel like that's pretty bold considering how little patience he has left.
I kind of agree, but
I don't disagree, but at the same time, you're accosting a child.
So 0 dice.
We're way
well,
late.
hang on. We haven't totaled up the whole engagement roll. Hear me out. I would say that because this is a vulnerability of Ult's operation that is using a child, and you're exposing that, I'd say that this is that adds a bonus die. I don't think you've leveraged friends or contacts. Well, save for your possessor demon friend.
Yeah.
So perhaps that grants a bonus die as well. Like he can give you some insight as the kid moves. If you are so inclined to ask him to do so.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Do it.
if he's gonna help me out with that, then yeah, of course I am. Anything we can get.
Okay. So, maybe he's feeling charitable, and you know he's going to turn on you one day, but it's probably not
But not this day.
not this day.
I'll do something for him later.
You sure as hell will.
Carefully deal with demons
This is
very
like-
gently.
This is like taking a devil's bargain without actually taking a devil's bargain.
It's true. Yep. I'm sorry, but I mean, you're a whisperer. You should be. You should know that what you're dealing with is
Yeah.
fickle by nature. And anything else you think we should consider in
Oh,
terms of
you said
engagement?
the information. We had lots of information about it.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, we know where he's coming from, where he's going, what time.
Okay. So it sounds like
What
you
it
get.
looks like.
I mean, so it sounds like you got 3 bonus die. So 1 for luck, and then so you get a total of 4. So Griffin, go 2. I mean, who knew that accosting a child would be so easy?
Oh, and apparently it is.
Too many die, it says.
There is a 6 though,
Yeah. There's
and
a 6.
apparently it is very easy to accost this child.
It is apparently very easy to accost this child. So, yeah. So I mean, you're pretty confident in your plan, and you know that a natural choke point is going to be one of the 2 bridges. You suspect he's going to use the south bridge, or it's not a south bridge; it's the west bridge.
This darn map.
Yeah, maps oriented wrong. So he's probably going to use the west bridge, and this is definitely a pawn, so we'll put him over here. And so I picture we've got the hound, who is in the shadows next to a cart that is not far from the end of the bridge. And he's
I was gonna actually, maybe if it's possible, I don't know about positioning, be on the rooftops, kind of overlooking the operation. Just being that the way, since I look kind of like the devil, children don't generally take well to me.
That's a fine thought, but what good are you going to be up there?
In case shit hits the fan.
He can start dropping shingles down.
He can shoot people, but I don't know we're gonna have that much trouble with this child.
Okay.
Oh, he could be tracing his movements through the streets, like keeping an eye
If we
on him.
lose him,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's
well,
not like he's
that-
got a walkie-talkie to communicate that with you guys.
No,
He has
no,
a
but like
flare
if it,
gun. Sorry.
I mean, he can't communicate it most likely, but I mean, he
But
can
I can-
chase the kid down.
yeah, so like if he gets away from them, like I have a better vantage. Like I was going for a better vantage point so that this
You
kid
can shoot
doesn't
out
get
one of his
away.
legs, is what you're saying.
I mean that's fucked up, but I'm not gonna say you're wrong. Luckily, I have these kid bullets on my character sheet.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
These baby skull-seeking bullets.
Actually, the electroplasm bullets would probably shock him and not kill him.
What if he criticals though? Does it kill him then?
No, it
Hey,
doesn't-
mister,
it
I don't know if
doesn't
I want to
kill-
work for you guys. He's got a gun.
Okay,
He's
Um,
coming right at me.
let's leave Harrier out of this for now. Biddy, you're right at the end of the bridge, blending in very well as just a woman coming home from her shift, maybe stopped to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
Hand-rolled cigarette.
Yeah.
And you've got a rather dashing-looking whisper talking to you, who is doing his best to look like he's flirting with you. Although you guess that maybe he's not so. Well, I don't know. What's your sway like?
I got 1 in it.
Okay, so yeah, you're doing an okay job looking like you're flirting. Like you've got some experience with this, maybe.
Of course I am.
Yeah. Uh,
You know, the little tip of the hat and the miladies and all
yeah, and
that.
Biddy,
Yeah.
you're laughing exactly like that because that's how you laugh
Oh.
when you flirt.
Oh, dear me. What are we talking about here?
And Griffin, you're crouched down behind um, a cart of coal, like ready to spring out in case this kid gets by
I
Biddy,
can only imagine
Biddy
he's
and
using coal
13.
dust below his eyes, like a football player.
No, he's just got his face smeared in it. He's got like these two white eyes peering out. Um, so yeah, you're crouched down behind a cart of coal, ready to spring out in case this kid is wiry and um, gets
Just gonna
by
jump out.
Biddy and 13.
I'm Black Santa, and you're getting coal in your stomach.
Gosh. All right.
That's not good.
So we see
So
the crowd approaching.
yeah. So Kirkland, like he's kind of trotting along, looking like he's owning the night. He can't be a day over 13, and he's looking like he's pretty happy to be out and away from the house. But
Yeah.
he's got a job to do, so he doesn't want to mess this up. So he's kind of got his head on a swivel, looking around, like making sure nothing's gonna jump out at him. And you guys look like you're, just normal folk doing
Yeah.
your normal flirting thing. And he's about to sprint by you, like not sprint, but like he's about to trot by. So
Unfortunately.
I'm going to maneuver myself that he bumps into me and like knocks me down. Sort
Okay.
of deal. Like I'm gonna cause him to stop at our location.
so
And
so you do the thing where you kind of push away from 13, like you got
Yeah.
put your hand on his chest, like, oh, that's
Yeah.
too much, and you back up into his path,
yeah,
like
I
you're
back
laughing
into
the
his
whole
path.
time, and
Yeah,
like,
and
oh, how
I'm
clever
being
you are.
flirty. A
Yeah.
13-year-old would notice this. He'd be like, "Oh God, that lady is." Oh, and now she's run into me, and this is quasi-Victorian, so he would stop and see how I'm doing, because he knocked into me, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, what happened? I feel so faint. I can't."
And seeing as I was flirting with Biddy, I'm going to accost this child for running into her.
Okay. So
and
hang on.
I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder and kind of shake him a little.
Okay. So so Betty, are you trying to finesse your way into his path?
Yeah, I would say I'd finesse his way into his path.
Okay. So let's deal with that first.
I'm going to push
Push.
myself.
I would say you could do that.
Okay.
Or
Well, not literally. I'm like not. I know I'm literally pushing myself in his path, but like in the game sort of deal.
yeah, but I would probably you can do that in addition to the fact
I
that
mean,
you've got 13 right there who could probably
yeah,
assist
I'm
pretty
kind
well.
of assisting.
Okay. So would that be? It'd be controlled.
No. Well, sure. Controlled.
Yeah.
I think we're overlooking the fact that we have a 13-year-old boy's one weakness, a woman willing to talk to him. I really, you could have just been like, hi there, and he just would have.
Oh my God, you're so adorable. Let me buy you some food. You look so skinny. I can't believe this.
Okay, so
What are you, an orphan? Yes, ma'am. Oh my God.
I'll
Okay.
adopt you.
Standard effect.
Yeah, so 13, are you doing the stress to give her a bonus die?
Yeah, I'll do it.
And are you pushing yourself? I'm trying to think of a devil's bargain. By the way, the devil's bargain is not something that just I can offer. Like anybody else can come up with one. And so like if you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs like, oh, it's kind of boring, or waiting for your turn, like by all means be thinking of devil's bargains to apply
I
to the
just
next
actually
roll.
thought of a really good one for what
Okay.
I was going to do.
I was gonna say that he drops the lockbox and somebody else notices it, but
So the runner drops the lockbox, and who would be there to notice it?
One of the dock workers that, I mean, I feel like it's not that hard to put two and two together with what's going on here. So one of the dock workers may be thinking that he can, like, make a quick coin.
Well, I mean, so he's just left. I mean, it's not uncommon to see these boys running around, or boys or girls running around the crow's foot in the docks, but he's just left Alp's enclave, and he's moving towards the Lamplax enclave.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He didn't really come from the docks.
No, I thought he was.
But,
okay, sorry.
but I mean, it's not a bad thought. Maybe one of the Lamplax just happens to be crossing the bridge the other way and sees the boy drop the lockbox.
Well, I mean, hey, we haven't even chosen to do a devil's bargain, have we?
Well, no. So the idea is to propose the devil's bargain, and then Biddy can refuse it. If you accept the bargain, you get a bonus die.
Okay. So the bargain is basically this goes more so our way, but we don't get the money in the end.
So the bargain is that he drops the lockbox, meaning it's no longer in his possession.
Yeah.
And but it draws the attention of a local lamplack.
Okay. And we don't know if this is one of the lamplacks that is working with Sydney.
Well, it's all predicated on your success, and you don't know what lamplack. It's probably just a guy who doesn't really know what's going on, but he sees. Oh, wait, is that Biddy? And I recognize that guy. This is the Canal Street Couriers, and they're stopping this runner. And maybe in the background somebody's putting two and two together, and ultimately it results in a tick or two of the lamplack suspicion.
Okay. Well, alright, I'm going to amend. I'm not going to run into him so I fall down. I'm going to bump into him, and then that way I have an excuse to make eye contact and start talking to him.
Okay.
And then once I start talking to him, I'm going to kind of be like, oh, you're such a strong, handsome, young fellow. You look really skinny. I'm about to go get some food. Would you like to run over there and get me, I don't know, a soft pretzel and be like, hey, do you want to do me this favor sort of deal?
Okay. Well, so we're getting a little beyond the roll. So the roll is can you get in his way?
Yes.
And so you're finessing that. You're taking the bonus die from 13. I'm offering a devil's bargain. You can accept or decline it. Or you can push yourself. You can't do a devil's bargain and push yourself. You can do one or the other.
Well, I only have 3 stress, so I think I'm gonna push myself.
Okay, so you get 2 bonus die on your finesse. It's controlled, standard effect.
Okay, so I get 3 bonus die, or 2 bonus die. I get 3 total.
2.
You get 3 total, so 2 bonus. Or you don't get 3 bonus die, you just get 2.
Okay, so you got a 6. So you bump into the kid. He looks at you like, what's going on? I don't understand. He's still got the lockbox in his hands. He's got it clutched to his chest, but that's just how he was running. And he's looking at you like, oh, this is this pretty lady that, I don't know, she's...
Hi, pretty lady.
Okay, so now you're trying to sway him into buying him a pretzel?
No, I'm just kind of I'm saying, hey, I'm paying attention to him. I'm making eye contact. I'm doing make sure he knows that I'm the person he's talking to. Like, hey, oh my God, I'm so sorry I bumped into you. Let me buy you a pretzel to make up for it. Here, have a coin. It stands right over there, or whatever food stall is nearby.
I think you mean slug, not coin.
Slug. Here, have a whole, no, have a couple of slugs.
You
just
take
to-
my whole purse.
Oh my gosh! And then just kind of like getting him to stop in his path and taking up his attention, and hopefully getting his mind off of that lockbox and onto me.
Yeah, so I won't even make you do a sway for that. This is your jam. That's how you roll. And he's looking at you, and he's a 13-year-old boy, not properly armed to defend against a fully grown woman who's paying attention to him. So he's like he's stunned. It's like a deer in headlights. Like,
So he's. I would like to jump out at him and try and put my manacles on him while he's not paying attention.
Really? Right now? I am on a roll.
Ho ho ho! You've been naughty.
okay,
Okay.
Griffin. So, what is it that you are trying to do with your action?
I would say like a finesse the cuffs onto his arms while he's not like paying attention to her.
Okay. Let's. Are you gonna? Is anyone gonna try to assist?
I mean, I
I
could
guess-
literally just football tackle this child. It's a child.
I'm not trying to hurt him. It's just
Harrier's just watching this all happen with just like,
His binoculars from the
It's
roof,
going
like
so well.
what?
And then Manacle
like
Boy.
he's never actually seen, like they don't have trains where he's, or like, trains where he's from, so he's never seen a train wreck before, so like this is very new to him.
It's how you picture an electro train would look like in a wreck.
Yeah, if it crashed. Hey Matt, I guess after that happens, or as it's happening, can I see if, because like you said that he literally left Ulf's place, went over the bridge, and then this happened. So like, are any of Ulf's men coming, or like taking note, or what?
So the engagement roll sort of puts you in the
Dictated
perfect
that.
spot for this. Like you've got a great viewpoint if some of Ulf's men started around the corner, and that could be like a consequence later down the road. But right now, it's just a poor boy getting accosted.
Okay,
In the
I
street.
just wanted to make sure.
By a
Poor
manacle.
boy getting arrested.
Okay, so Griffin,
He's a citizen
You're-
arrest.
you're slapping a manacle on one wrist. Maybe 13 is holding his shoulder so he doesn't move or something.
I want to slap it onto one wrist and slap the other one onto mine.
Well, yeah, I mean, what?
So 13, are you assisting or Biddy?
I can assist.
Biddy's
can
gonna
assist.
assist. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Imagining a 1 being rolled and he accidentally manacles himself to 13.
okay.
Yeah, see, I'm not assisting for that reason.
Okay, so Biddy's assisting.
I'm basically just kind of maneuvering him into the right position for the manipulation to happen.
Okay,
I like that verb.
maniculation, manicality. All right, so
Okay, I'm pushing myself, so position risky.
yeah, I mean you're restraining a strange child, so I'd say that's risky.
Okay, and the
Even
effect-
even in Discwall. Effect standard.
Okay, I have to drop it to limited because I'm harmed.
Was this one of the kids that was possessed by a demon? Is he about to like force choke Griffin?
I did it.
Yeah, you did it. So yeah, you get the manacle. You get one manacle on, and he's like, "What?" And then all of a sudden, there's the manacle slapped on your wrist, and he's like, "Ah!" And he's trying to pull away, and he twists around, and he drops the lockbox, and slugs everywhere, all over the ground. But nobody notices. And
I am going to scoop up all of the money.
Yeah, no,
and
I'm gonna help with that one.
okay, and Griffin, you're left to deal with the child. What do you do?
Just drag him. Drag him off.
I'd like to just like one hit to him and knock him out.
You're gonna
God.
knock out the
Okay.
unconscious child.
I like how 3 times
To yourself.
It sounds like
before this started, we said, Matt, we're not going to accost a child. I'd like to punch him in the dome.
all right. So it sounds like you're skirmishing the child.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not helping with this.
position.
Well, I don't think anyone else can help because unless the hound is going to open fire.
Yeah, I don't need.
Just
No.
fire for effect or anything.
Attract all the attention.
What I do, Matt, is I position my rifle. I say, Wolf Ironborn sends his regards, you two-timing bastard. I shoot the gun.
Okay. Position is definitely risky. And I'm going to say great effect.
Okay. I won't push myself. I think I can.
You think you got it?
Oh!
You jinxed yourself. You jinxed it.
Uh,
All right. Yeah. So the kid like dodges out of the way, swings around like behind you, and you're still manacled to him. So like you're twisting around as he's moving. And then like
Both fall in the river.
he lifts his foot up to kick you, like from behind, and then that pushes you forward against the coal cart.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
and so like you're already bruised ribs, right? Is that what you've got?
Yeah.
Um, like you could feel something else like shift and snap as like you slam into the cart. You can resist this, by the way.
Okay. So I just do prowess.
By the way, resist like something we're not using a lot because the consequences are usually pretty minor, but resisting a consequence is part and parcel to what you're doing. So yeah, that would be a minor harm, and basically you roll your in this case it would be your resolve, no, your prowess to resist.
Then how do you get bonus dice for these?
Resist rolls. I don't know if
You had armor, I think.
Let me take a look. So I think we're getting better at the rules. This is why we're.
well, wait, like
Okay, so I think it's just I don't think you can get really bonus dice except for the armor. Well, the armor reduces the severity, along with the resistance roll.
Hey, baby, you want a treat? Sorry, forgot I was on.
Yeah, I don't think you can. It's not. It doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah,
Okay. So just.
it's just one die per.
6 stress minus the. Wow.
Highest die result.
So you take 2 stress, but you resist. You reduce the effect, so you don't take any harm.
Yay.
that's kind of cool.
So
Nice.
you're trading stress for the harm essentially.
Yeah.
And it if I were trying to inflict heat, you can also resist that by trying to. That might be a whatchamacallit roll.
Yeah. I mean, unless somebody
A
gets a
resolve
fucking
roll.
shingle of guards.
That might be a resolve roll to resist that, or an insight roll, depending. It's basically whatever the failed roll was. You roll the attribute that matches that. So
Yeah.
so cool. So the kid roughs you up, but he's still there. He's still shackled to you. And like you turn around and you see that out of nowhere he's produced like a lockpick and he's like fiddling with the manacle.
I thought you were gonna say like a knife. He's like fucking jab.
He's
Kid
gonna
fucking shanks you
cut
in the
him up.
ribs.
Okay. I'd like to skirmish again. I'm gonna pull out a pistol and shoot his hand.
No!
Oh my god.
Please do cannot shoot this child in the middle of the night in this street.
Yeah, why
Fine,
don't
I
you
want to
just drag him
stab
off
his
the
hand.
alleyway?
I want to stab his hand.
You
I
shooting or
know you.
shooting or stabbing?
Stabbing. I'm gonna stab his hand.
Okay. The one that's in the manacle or the one that's holding
The
the
one that's
lockpick?
fiddling with it.
Okay.
Fiddling with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the one holding the lockpick.
All right. Let's see the skirmish roll.
Risky, standard, or limited, I guess, because I dropped.
Child's gonna be the death.
I'd say it's risky and yeah, standard because it's
Okay. Mother.
You stab yourself in the head. or Matt, does he cut the kid's hand off that's in the manacle and the kid is now free?
This
So-
is some bullcrap.
you're swinging for his hand, like you're aiming to stab for that, and like you nick his forearm, which doesn't really harm him at all. But he lets out a yelp, like a real loud, help! Like this is like not kosher kind of yell, and so now
Carrier
now
send
he's
the
screaming.
regards.
Help
So-
being oppressed.
So I'm gonna reset the alert level here to 2 because he's now screaming for help.
Oh God.
I would throw some trance powder at the child, please.
Now we're drugging the child. I love it. All
Well,
right.
it's better than physically injuring him.
So
Which I haven't successfully done. Don't worry.
so how did you do that last time, finesse?
I finessed it, yes. I'm gonna finesse it this time.
Okay.
I would like to assist by trying to hold him in place.
Okay, so
Assaulting,
this is desperate
restraining,
then, I
and
guess?
drugging a child. I love it. Yeah, we'll say it's desperate
Okay,
at this
Once we
point.
knock him out, let's bring him to the bathhouse.
standard, and I get 1 dice.
Hey Matt, while this is all going on, can I put all the coins back
Ah!
in the box?
Well,
Walk away.
all
Maybe run away actually.
right. Well, Biddy, I was going to suggest that perhaps if Griffin has any stress left, that he could assist. But
I did assist. That's why she's got that second one.
oh, okay.
Yep.
This kid is a demon. He's one of the possessed kids, and he fucking just.
Shoot
I
him!
would have seen that.
Shoot
shit,
him,
wouldn't I?
Harrier!
You never asked.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you're
He
right.
said there are some possessed kids. You never asked if he was one.
Okay. So
So our perfect score has now gone down the toilet.
all right.
But really,
So
Matt, can I pick up the coins and walk away?
yeah.
I'm dying
So
today.
are you trying to prowl away while these two are dealing
Well, I
with
mean,
this child?
They're a pretty big distraction. I don't even know if I'd need to prowl.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, because the kid is screaming bloody murder and continuing to scream bloody murder, as a result of Biddy's poor roll, all eyes are now turned in your direction. So you've got the lockbox, you've got probably most of the coin stuffed back into it.
Let's see. Is there a smoke bomb? There is a smoke bomb. I can have a smoke bomb.
What's it do?
I don't know. It's just a smoke bomb in the alchemicals.
I'll check it.
All right, thanks.
I'm assuming it's just a big puff of smoke.
I also brought one, so.
You
if
all
wanna
just
take-
got smoke.
This guy, just flash everything. Could I flash back and say we parked the Paralicious underneath the bridge, and we could jump in the boat and get the fuck out of here?
Without even spending stress, I will let you do that.
Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you.
Short God is
Okay,
taking
creates
pity
a
on
cloud
this
of acrid smoke that's difficult to breathe and stink to the eyes.
So wait, is there a crowd?
No, there's not much of a crowd. You guys picked a pretty deserted spot, but there's people peeking out of windows now.
Well, I do want to let you know that I'm wearing my fine spirit mask, so they don't know what my face looks like.
So you were flirting with me in
No,
your
I just pulled it out of my
craft?
coat.
It adds mystique, thank you very much. I'm sure that he looked very...
He was also
It's-
wearing a fedora.
Haven't you ever
Literally,
been
yeah.
to a masquerade ball?
Literally, like the description is, it's kind
Oh
of
my.
spooky. It's what makes it strange and disturbing to see. I don't know. I haven't come up with that yet, but it's strange and disturbing. Trust me. So yeah, I
There's
pulled
just
that out of my.
penises drawn all over the front of it.
Well, it's probably not the disturbing that we're going for, but yeah. So I pulled that out of my coat, so now my face is covered. I'm also wearing a hat, so you can't really tell that. But yeah,
I'm wearing
I
a
mean,
bonnet.
I'm, of course.
You cannot see my face from the windows.
I'm going to.
I'm wearing all black face paint, so
I'm
like they
gonna
can't
try
really.
to jump into that boat
With the
with the
Lockbox.
lockbox.
okay.
And here comes the one, you drop it into the ocean. Or not the ocean, the canal.
I'm going swimming if we do.
It's not worth the
Push
tetanus.
yourself. Also, I'd just like to point out, I thought this was going to go perfectly fine, and I was going to leave the fucking hive token in the lockbox, and then we were just going to leave. But apparently not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bee, you mean?
Yeah, the bee from Eberhard
Yeah.
So wait,
Jackson.
do I have to roll to jump into the boat?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that,
Okay, our guy's not that generous.
The boat is there, but
Yeah,
you
it's-
have to roll for it.
Can I assist him by shooting him in the back if he needs that just extra oomph to make it?
I mean, the description for prowl is traverse obstacles, climb, swim, run, jump, and tumble. So it prowl.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna prowl, and I will touch myself and take 2 stress for it.
I like the turn the music has taken just now.
Would this be risky, probably? Oh, I just
Yes.
double. Where'd it go?
Risky and
4 ones, just 4 ones, just
risky
dice.
and standard.
Risky standard. I'm pushing myself, and nothing else, right? So, got a 5.
Okay. So yeah,
Glad I pushed.
you tumble your way over the edge of the bridge, and I've got an idea for this. Hang on.
Maybe the boat won't start.
It's not a motorboat.
Finicky.
Well, that's why it's not starting, Biddy.
Exactly.
God.
It's well, what was the thing that we got for it? Finicky, right? So it's less good.
All right, so I'm picturing you somersaulting your way over like a rather wide railing on the
I mean, sure, I could somersault. I was just gonna jump, but
yeah, but cooler to somersault, right?
yeah, that's right.
But I'm picturing you dropping your Demon Bane charm into the water as you do so.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Works.
Maybe just put some X's after the Demon Bane charm to indicate that it's been lost for now.
You can.
X,
I didn't
for
even
the
fucking
old
realize that you
alcohol.
could type on that.
Yeah.
That.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
I am also going to try and extract myself from the situation.
I want
see him
to
tumble, and I am also going to just abandon Griffin to his fate. He's the one that thought he was gonna handcuff this child.
You don't even want to know what I'm about to do.
himself. I don't, which is why I'm gonna leave. But not before I try. Can I try and
by the
stun
way,
this child one more time?
hold on, 13. By the way, you could resist that one as well if you wanted to try.
Should I?
It would be prowess.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with losing that. I could probably go spend a coin to buy another one.
So,
Uh,
Biddy, how are you making your escape?
I'm going to not jump over the railing. I'm not that undignified. I'm going to look for the nearest alleyway and try and like melt into the shadows by using like my disguise kit or something, like throw off my bonnet, like switch around my shawl to like the opposite side so it's got a different color or something, and kind of just like extract myself from the situation with what little slugs I gathered from the ground.
Okay.
I believe that would still be finesse.
Sure.
Does she run towards me, or is the nearest way away from where I'm positioned?
I'll leave that up to you.
And I'm gonna push myself. And this would be risky.
I don't know if you're not doing anything too daring and you're just heading
Yeah.
for an alleyway.
Yeah.
I don't think you really need a roll.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm
the
just
kid's
we're
not
not too
grabbing at
far.
you. The kid's not going to grab
Yeah.
at you if you dart. So
Okay. All right. Well, if I don't have to roll, can I roll to try and trance the kid again?
Don't. I've already
Like,
got it covered.
you've
Just
already
get out
got-
of here.
I don't want you to kill the
I'm
child.
not gonna kill him.
You're not going to kill him or otherwise maim him irreparably.
all right. So are you having this
I can't
conversation
promise
in
that second
character
thing.
or?
No.
No,
sorry, let's stop.
I communicate with Griffin like, don't kill this kid, and then I'm gonna melt into the shadows.
Okay.
As we're running by the alley where Harrier has been on the rooftop, he's just like nonchalantly leaning on his rifle with his mouth slightly agape and his eyes wide.
I'm going to
Watching
look
this.
up at him and then just be like a plea to the heavens, just like, and then like dash into the alley.
Okay, so I would like to pull out my lantern, and under arcane implements, one of the things is a vial of quicksilver, which I'd like to pull out. I'd like to open the lantern, hold the vial of quicksilver over the fire of the lantern, get on the kid and hold it under his nose while I hold my breath.
Oh my god.
You trying to poison him with mercury?
Yes, it makes him weak and shit. Fuck it. I'm trying to stun him.
Oh my god.
So you're not trying to kill him, you're trying to stun
hey.
him.
Low. As long as it's not long-term exposure, he'll be fine. I'm just trying to get him stunned here.
Oh
I'm in awe. All right.
I guess also if Biddy looked up to see where Harrier was, there was another shape up there with him. It was hard to make out.
Oh,
Was it your pet?
It was Ragnarok.
Yeah, but you guys haven't seen him yet, so you don't know about him.
We don't know about Ragnarok.
No, it's not Ragnarok. I'm not that uncreative, you son of a bitch.
Okay, so risky position still?
I'm gonna go for desperate on this one.
Okay, cool. So
More
Vic,
XP for him.
More
what
XP,
effect-
right? Biddy, you had a desperate roll too. You can mark XP.
You roll a 1, the kid slaps your hand, you swallow the quicksilver.
You
God.
die.
Okay, what effect?
Standard.
Okay. I'm gonna push myself for a bonus die because I've not been rolling well.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Woo!
All right. Yeah. So you managed to heat it up miraculously by the lamp, and even though the kid is struggling and swatting at you with his arms and hands, you managed to waft the vial underneath him, underneath his nose, and kind of staggers in your grip, or against the manacle, kind of leaning back, like if you let him go, he would fall, but you're chained to him, so he's standing upright, kind of maneuver, and I'm gonna say some people are wandering by as they observe you drugging this child, and you can take the crew can take another heat.
You should say something along the lines of "He's my nephew" or like brother or something.
He's my
No, that
nephew.
just
I,
makes-
I kick the shit out of him all the time. Don't worry.
That would be, I think, resisting by resolve.
I will be right
I'm
back.
not gonna resist. I've got too much stress. Let's just take the heat, guys.
All right.
All right.
I have
I'll
what
knock
are we
the heat.
gonna do with this kid now that we have subdued him?
He's subdued and we have the lockbox, right?
Yeah.
Let's just get the hell out. I want to unshackle myself and run.
If we're just gonna take him with you, if you shackled yourself to him in the first place, why did you even do that? If we're just gonna leave him,
Okay, so
I've had too much trouble here.
so the godly voice in your head says, what's your intention once you have him where you want him?
sell him to like His Majesty's Navy.
Okay,
They
you said
only
he's
have
kind of like
employees.
he's kind of dazed, right? I could
Yeah.
probably pick him up and carry him, run, right?
Sure.
At least just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. That's fine. Perfect. This is exactly
That's perfect.
This is going exactly to plan.
I planned to poison him all along.
I honestly did not think that that we would get so little accomplished in this session.
Okay, sorry.
No, this is
What
amazing.
happened?
This is amazing. I love it. No, I mean, like, it's great role playing. You should all give yourself props for that, and probably score the XP for that. But
Sorry,
first we'll do downtime, and just assume that you've got him tied up in one of the cells in your lair. So
He's not tied up if we have a cell. There's no use in tying him up if we.
Yes,
think
there
we
is use because that's my bedroom.
also he had lockpicks that he.
I
produced
took
from-
the lockpicks.
Hey, we strip searched him. I mean, I didn't.
What? No.
While he was drugged, we just strip searched him.
Harrier has realized by now that he did not come from a house of demons. He is among demons now.
Oh boy.
No, I'm
Sorry, I'm just
serious.
getting
We
into
should
the
sell
moment.
him to like not sell him. We should gang press him into joining the Navy and just like give him to one of the ships.
Hey, there's plenty of people that'll be willing to buy drugged kids. I
We're,
think it'll be fine.
we're not gonna prostitute the child.
He's 13. He's old enough.
He's not 13. Is not the age of consent.
Maybe in Duskville. But
Isn't it 13 in Japan in some parts?
I think that's a myth, but you could be right.
Well, either way, it's cool.
it's not.
I'm not sure that we've come to that agreement, actually.
Wow.
Can
Let's
can I
just
try and
stop this
sway
competition
him?
before it goes any further. And what was your question, Biddy?
Can I try and sway him into joining our crew? Like, dude, I know we had a rocky start, but you'll get food. You don't have to go back to the orphanage. We've got like a house you can stay in. Like, it's gonna be pretty chill.
Would you like
As
to?
she's doing this, Harrier walks by the doorway and just casually adds in, "And Ulf will fucking kill you because he thinks you stole the money," and then like just keeps going.
Would you like to turn this into a long-term project?
Yes, I would like to turn this into a long-term project to get this
Holy
child.
shit.
What did you say his name was?
Kirkland.
Kirkland. I'm gonna get Kirkland on our side.
Oh god.
His friends call him Land.
Uh,
Yeah, do you know that Kirkland's the Costco brand of liquor, and it's
Yeah.
a thing. Not the
When's
Costco.
why Griffin's so
that's
attracted to
kind
him.
of Average.
well,
but-
actually, his friends call him Weasel. He's rather scrawny, but yeah. So that would be a 6 o'clock if you wanted to track that.
okay.
His new friends call him jailbait.
Oh. Wow.
Okay. Can I have one piece of that, or am I at 0?
A piece of Kirkland, or
Yeah, you want a piece of Kirkland? If you're starting a long-term project, this is your downtime. You can make a roll.
This
Okay.
is too much.
Hey Matt, I actually have a question about the long-term project things.
Mhm.
So we gave me one last session that was basically just fuck Ulf, like to just kind of screw him over, but we didn't specify in what way. And since we just screwed him over, do I get segments onto my project for that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm at 3 right now. How many would I have gotten?
We'll say 2.
Cool. I only need 3 more.
Woo!
And then like when that completes, will you like kind of give us something to go off of? Because we didn't like say what it was. I literally just said, "Hey, can I work to screw Ulf over?" And he said, "Yeah, at a clock."
So, there's a couple things you could do as a result. You could work down his tier, which would affect how easy he is to take on. Like he would,
Okay.
you could demoralize his cohorts so that they are no longer a factor.
Okay.
You could work to get some of his turf away from him, or some other holding from him. Turf would be the only likely thing that, because to get something that is connected to your layer, or something that you already have, is easier than to get, like, if you look at the crew sheet, something that's far away is like Ancient Gate, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, we can kind of look at the sum of what you've done to screw him over, and
Okay.
make that determination later. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at probably lowering his tier.
Okay. I would be cool with that.
Um,
I mean, it's not done yet. I still need 3 more segments, but I was just.
Sure.
I'm actually gonna add that as a note.
Okay. So
Lower
Biddy,
tier.
let's deal with your first
Okay.
your first downtime. What do you? So you're trying to
I'm swaying a weasel.
swaying weasel.
Okay. And then
Is that
I
what the
just
kids are calling it these days?
It's
Swaying
Uh,
it's
weasel?
definitely a
this is-
euphemism.
risky or desperate.
It doesn't really apply. It's
Okay.
just a roll. Okay.
Woohoo.
So I think that's 3 segments.
Yeah.
I give him some delicious food. Be like, hey, we're not so bad. I'm sorry you kind of got roughed up. I treat his wound. Everybody here is a really nice person. They're gonna love you.
Yeah, and he's still saying, well, I think I should get back to the hall. It's not, you know, Ulf is going to be after me. This is not good, but he's taking the food and certainly listening intently when you're talking. So you think maybe he's coming around.
Okay. I'm going to, for my second action, is gonna indulge my vice.
Okay.
Though since my vice is obligation and family, I don't know how. Oh, I know. I'm going to write a whole bunch of letters to my also 13-year-old sister about how we have this brat in our holding cell that's just like her, and I can't
Oh,
believe.
God.
I'm
Hey
just
sis,
gonna,
I got you a blind date.
I'm gonna write, like, I'm just gonna get in the mood where I need to talk to them. So I'm just gonna write like hours and hours of letters.
Okay.
I might have given him too much mercury. It might be an actual blind date.
How many 13-year-old sisters do you have?
I have
Indeterminate.
Between
Matt.
3 and 5.
Indeterminate.
I have one 13-year-old sister and one 15-year-old sister.
They could be Irish twins, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and make your indulge vice roll.
And I don't get any bonus die or anything, right?
No, just click the button.
Just click it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, overindulgence.
You overindulged.
Writes yourself into a cone.
Okay. So
She goes insane and thinks that Weasel is one of her indeterminate amount of sisters.
So you can attract trouble.
Actually, my stress is actually higher, if that matters, because I didn't mark where I helped Griffin.
If you're not shitting me, that's perfectly valid, and you
No,
would
because
good.
I had 3, and then I pushed myself once, and then I helped Griffin. So I didn't mark when I helped Griffin.
Okay.
I
That-
have 5 right
Yeah. So that would bring you down to 0. You didn't
Okay.
overindulge.
now. Just had to get that out of my mind into my family's letters.
Okay. Griffin, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna try to tough out healing myself. I take a stress and I roll a fortune roll with no bonus die.
Okay.
See if I can heal myself. Because I don't trust doctors, so I'm not going to the doctor.
Okay.
4. Okay, so that's 2 on my healing quad.
That's better than a hole in the head, I guess. It's pretty good. Okay.
And then I want to indulge my vice, because if I don't, I'll get 1 more stress and have another trauma.
Fair enough.
It's literally impossible for you to overindulge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
is.
could have indulged your vice twice.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
All right. Cool. 13.
Would getting another Demon Bane charm count as one of these actions, or is that just kind of like a no action thing I could do every time? Or would I have to indulge my vice by going to Ojak, the Tekerosi rooftop market vendor, to buy this Demon Bane charm?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I could do that. Because I do kind of want to get rid of stress. I don't want to overindulge, though.
Overindulging isn't that bad.
What's your stress at?
4.
Okay. So you've got a 1/3 chance of overindulging.
Yeah.
Also, well, so either way, you could just make a fortune roll to see if you can, and that would be at your like stash level to see if you can get a Spirit Bane charm.
Okay, so wait, stash levels of 0. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Okay. So did I do that right?
Okay. Yeah. So you don't, people seem to be fresh out of them when you go looking, or you're fresh out of slugs when you go to buy one.
Even though I just stole a lockbox full of them.
Yeah, which I hit you up for, by the way.
Well,
Which
we haven't got
no.
we haven't got to the payoff yet.
Yeah.
So we're doing this a little in reverse, but
It's okay.
Never mind then.
and maybe we should do that actually. So while you think of what you want to do on your
Oh, I know
for your
what I wanna-
downtime, Strongbox holds 4 coin. So
I
Yes, I'll
take
just-
1.
Okay. I was gonna say. Do you
I
wanna
look
make,
I look
like,
at 13
crew?
and just take 1 out of the lockbox and put it in my pocket.
well, it's not quite so easily yet, but you get it.
I'm taking 1 or I'll jug the rest of you.
So, I'm gonna put my coin into the crew then.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same.
Okay, well that would max our crew coin anyways. We don't have a vault yet, so.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, you can spend you could spend coin to get cohorts and other
So
things.
how do we upgrade our tier again? I don't.
Well, you
I-
got to
I
get
didn't-
rep, which is also part of the payoff.
Okay. How much rep do we have right now?
3.
Yeah, I forgot to mark it on my sheet. So
Yeah.
3.
Let's see. This boy was part of the. I don't know if I have an institution for these people.
And we do get, well, though we haven't taken any heat yet, we do get 1 less because of our special ability as a crew. as a
One less heat.
yeah. During downtime, we take -1 heat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm just reminding my.
Yep.
there's this-
So we'll say he was a tier 2 target. So you take, we'll say you get 3 rep total.
That brings us up to 6.
And
So, I'm sorry.
and the I've probably been been a little cheap on rep up to this point, so make it 7. And we'll add another 3 heat for the overall way this went off.
Make it 2.
Another 3 heat, you said?
Yeah.
But we reduce 1 automatically.
Yeah, from downtime. So I'm just gonna add 2.
That's right.
So, Matt, I realize that you've explained, but I'm not sure I completely understand yet. So, other than like when I go to do something and needing to like flash coin around, what can I do with my 1 coin that I have now?
So
Because like you generally buy things with like slugs, you said. So like,
yeah. So the coin comes into play in a few different ways, but like if you wanted to, you can put it in your stash. Entanglements sometimes cost coin. The like it, I mean it varies. I mean you can spend coin to give yourself an additional downtime activity.
okay.
Oh, and just so everyone knows, since we have more than 4 heat, we only get 1 downtime activity.
is that
too.
is that true?
Yeah.
Well, we won't observe that this time because I messed up and some people have already taken 2. So
Yeah, I was just letting everyone know.
I thought that's only when you're at war.
Is that? Are you sure?
Yeah.
I knew
mean, we're
there's
not at-
something that happens whenever you have +4 heat. Or do you mean just whenever you?
The entanglements get worse.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Um,
need to read more of this book.
Okay. Okay. I think I get the coin thing.
so
I'm gonna hold on to mine for now.
yeah, and it's weird that the way the heat affects your entanglements, but it clears when you gain a wanted level. It seems kind of backwards to me, but I feel like the wanted level should affect your entanglements more than your heat does. But just thinking out loud. So the only way to reduce your wanted level is through incarceration. So like once you gain a wanted level, to get it back down, you've got to send somebody to jail.
And what threshold is that at? Of getting a wanted level? How much heat?
Wanted level increases the severity of the entanglements. So once you max out your heat level, you get a wanted level, and your heat resets. It's a bit like trauma.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
But you can reduce wanted levels by sending people to jail.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Okay, so
we were at 13 second.
yeah, you roll a number of
downtime
dice equal
activity.
to your wanted level and use the result of the roll to select which sort of entanglement manifests. So somebody want to roll a 0 die fortune roll for me, Griffin?
Griffin rolled last time.
Okay,
Yeah,
Biddy?
give it to
Biddy.
someone else.
Biddy,
Yeah.
since you're complaining, do it.
Not Something.
Oh.
And you're responsible.
Dang.
All right, you got a
are
1.
responsible for this.
Well, none of you have cohorts. I mean, there's no gang cohort yet. So,
Don't pick on Celine again.
yeah, it's got to be somebody. So, I picked on Celine. We'll pick on Esme this time.
Oh no!
No.
Say.
So,
Matt, you're evil.
I am
Somebody
evil.
walks into the bar, pulls out a gun, and
we
says,
may have beaten and drugged a kid, but you were evil.
Yeah, that's true. I'm an evil person. Since you were the one drugging him, Griffin, though, I'm gonna make you roll a 1 die fortune roll.
Oh no.
Somebody walks into the bar, pulls out a gun, and says, "Both senses are guns. You choose."
Wait, no. So roll 2 dice actually. Okay. So
These last 3 fortune rolls are looking pretty freaking
Yeah.
similar.
I mean, she just spills it all out. You know, the cup of fan. You know, you got Phoebe, Anvil. You've got the any rumor that she's heard about you. It's all on the table. So
To who?
to the Bluecoats.
Okay.
So you take 2 heat.
We're getting dangerously close here.
So, yeah, and a part of this game is embracing sort of the suctitude that you find yourselves in. You know, things are going to get worse, and you know you've got to kind of pull yourselves up by the bootstraps and get this thing figured out. You can, however, spend downtime activities to reduce your heat.
Yeah, that's what I was actually planning on doing back when we only had 3.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
'cause
yeah, so 13.
it's Desmond's second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to reduce heat.
Actually, I don't think Desmond took us first, really. I just made him roll a fortune for the
Oh, okay. Well, then it's
see if he could buy
Desmond's
that
first.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce heat. How does that work again? I don't remember.
Yeah, so in the rules reference, there's a thing for downtime activities.
I love how many ways, Matt, you found to nicely say, "Read the fucking handouts." Oh, well, if you look back to the forum post, isn't that being like, "Listen, you fucks."
Well, at least I'm putting him his handouts in the game, so you don't have to go out to the forums. So I'm just that nice. But
Oh yeah, so nice.
I am. I'm super nice.
You let us drug a child.
He's not in charge of that. We run the narrative.
Oh yeah, you're on his side.
So it's up to you how you want to what role you want to make to reduce the heat, but you got to tell me what you're doing.
I say, wait, can I? I don't know if it's metagaming to suggest.
You can suggest.
I was gonna say kind of like how you did last session to like learn stuff about Ulf's operation by asking the spirits about like his crimes and stuff. You could easily do that and turn it around and start leaving like anonymous tips with the Bluecoats to direct their heat, our heat towards, or not necessarily Ulf, but like anybody that isn't us, so that they don't. They're more preoccupied with like solid leads than like trying to chase us around.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I'm pretty good at tuning, so I do like that idea.
So what are you telling the demons to do?
Just kind of. The demons can't really directly talk to the Bluecoats, right? Like it's just kind of like.
No, but they could give you information on other people, and then you could report that to the Bluecoats.
Or you could intimidate people into not talking with the demons, or you could subtly remove
Subtly suggest that you'll push them into the demon world through an interdimensional portal if they speak.
I'll show them my demon key.
remove evidence
cool.
or sway, kind of like via some subliminal suggestion the blue coats onto another lead rather than your tail or something.
I like the idea of kind of sicking the demons on people to intimidate them.
Okay. So
Um,
yeah, making people too afraid to talk.
yeah.
All right.
What sort
You-
of gang did I join?
Well,
Hey, I don't-
I think everyone else was leaning to like my the Pathfinder crew was leaning towards assassins. So
Hey, I'm the demon here, and I've done the least. I've done the least unnecessary harm.
Hey, I haven't harmed anyone.
Hey, it
Second least.
wasn't unnecessary.
shooting people in the face. All right.
all I've
Perfect.
legitimately done is talk to demons and astrally project. So
All I've done is
Yeah.
get rid of witnesses and bring a child into our
I'm
gang.
now picturing that, like, within 13's three-piece suit, he just has shingles. Like, you want to buy a shingle?
Psst, kid, want to buy a shingle?
Nothing says professional like a real nice looking roof, bud.
All right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so
Attuning.
I'm gonna attune.
all right.
Attune. I'm risk heat controlled. I don't. I guess anything with demons is pretty risky.
Yeah, but
Ow.
there's gonna be no real consequences for failure here. You're seeing how well you can, how much effect you can have rather than like
So
even a one
standard.
gives you reduces heat by 1. So
Yeah.
Critical man. Ah,
Hey.
hey, so you
That's
reduce
still
heat by
a one.
1. All right. And what else are you gonna do?
Matt, did you rig this? The last 4 rolls have all been 1s and 3s.
1 3 1 3 3 1.
I played the 5th. Hey, and the dice, the device roll before that was 2.
Which was the thing that when you prowess? Okay, I guess
When you
gonna
what?
train prowess again.
Yeah, you can train. Prowess would give you 2 XP
Yeah.
in prowess.
So
That's yeah.
let's do that. Okay.
I did that.
Okay. And Harrier.
I am going to. So I can just be like, I spend my coin to get another action.
Yeah.
Is that how that works? Okay. I'm gonna do that because I don't really want to have to keep track of it. I am going to train prowess.
Oh,
and
I meant. Sorry. Before you do that, I meant to say that you could have spent 2 coins to prevent Esme from talking. As a group, you could have figured that out. But
Oh.
I mean,
Can
Well,
we
can we still
Um,
spend a
retroactively
coin
do
to get
that?
an extra action?
what?
Did we still? So we can't spend coin to get an extra action, or is that still also a thing?
He was just giving us another thing that we could have done.
Yeah, I meant to. So when somebody gets brought in for questioning, you can pay off the blue coats to let them loose with 2 coin.
Okay. Can we retroactively do that though? Can we go back and say, hey, we pay her off, so we don't get that heat?
If you
So
want
who's
that.
giving up who's giving up their coins?
I mean,
The
we could use
crew
the
would, because
It's-
we've got
it's
4
only-
coins.
It's 2 coin for 2 heat.
Okay. Okay.
It's 2 coin for 2 heat if you wanted to go that route.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I can't really vote. I haven't given I've gotten 2 coins. One I'm using now, and one I paid off the Lamplax to not hate us for taking the hit out on what's his face without consulting them. So I don't really have a say in the.
Okay. So did you guys get rid of
Yeah.
the crew coins?
Yeah,
I still see crew coins.
I
it's
dropped.
because we had 4.
We had 4.
Yeah.
Because Biddy and I put ours in the crew.
That we did.
All right.
Okay,
Can we
so
still
I-
spend a coin to do another action during downtime though?
Yeah, but it also takes a rep away from the crew. It's 1 coin
Oh.
and 1 rep.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
okay, then
never
I'm
mind.
not gonna do that then.
I would
Uh,
totally still like to do that though, because I need healed. Can I do that to try to heal again?
Wait, what are you doing?
Spending 1 of my coin and 1 rep from the crew so I can heal again.
It's 1 coin or 1 rep.
Oh, it's It's 1 coin or one.
Okay, I would like to do that.
I
then.
read that wrong then. Sorry, that's my fault.
I would also like to do that.
Yeah, it is or. Sorry, guys.
That's cool.
Well, let's finish up with Harrier. So Harrier,
Okay.
you,
Okay. So I'm gonna train prowess.
okay,
I'm going to try and advance my fuck Ulf clock,
okay. How you
which
doing
I
that?
do by I mean, I imagine that now, like, one, I know that stone, like, kind of stone's root, and we've disrupted his operation, so I imagine that he's sending out people to kind of just like show that he still has a presence, or to investigate and basically to like lower his tier and demoralize his men. I pick him off when they they
Shooting
they
from,
show up.
shooting
They
them from the
show up
rooftops.
murdered or torn up in a back alley.
You gonna snipe them from the rooftops as well?
Snipe them, sick my hunting pet on them. Pistol, basically I'm just trying to show his own men that they're not safe under Ulf anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So that sounds like what?
Sounds like I'm hunting them.
Okay. Let's do it.
Doesn't know.
Okay, guys. Something else I didn't know. But you can spend a coin after you roll to increase the effect by 1.
What?
Yeah, I know. The stuff we should have known.
What? Like any roll?
Gotta read. Yeah. Well, yeah. Any downtime activity roll.
Oh, downtime activity. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't push yourself on a downtime activity, right?
But that's basically what you would do.
I think you
Yeah,
can
but I don't.
Can you?
have a-
push yourself on a downtime activity. They're general action rolls. I don't-
Make action rolls. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do that because I only position.
I mean,
which gives me a bonus.
it just it's a cost to stress. So
Yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Wow.
Oh my god. Wow. Well, I mean, you advance the clock by 1.
Mhm. He sends out one man, and it's like a grandpa.
So yeah, I mean, like you corner one guy, and he like you send a message pretty much that this
Mhm.
guy has been eviscerated by your pet, but like it's a montage of missed opportunities, and you're a lot of time spent on rooftops, and you just miss the window to shoot him. Like you
Yeah.
got like a woman gets in the way, or
Mhm.
like you're like there's just not a clean shot,
Mhm.
or it's too dark to clearly make out who you're shooting at. That kind of stuff.
I'm gonna try and advance that fucking clock again because that's just insulting.
Okay.
And if I get 2 1s, Matt, I'm calling horse shit. 3s.
All right, you got your 3s. Also 1 tick on the clock. You put in some more time. This time you get 2 people, but nobody of any real rank.
Yeah.
But Ulf's men
Yeah.
are taking notice, and it's slowly screwing him over.
I'm at a 7 out of 8, by the way, on that phone.
Oh my god. All right. So did you take 3?
Did I take 3?
Like you can spend rep or coin to take a third action, third down.
Yes, I trained and then I did.
Okay.
2
So you spent your coin. Okay.
Yes, I spent my coin.
All right. So Biddy, did you say you were gonna do?
I would like to spend a coin to take another action if
Okay.
I could.
Yep.
'Cause I have a coin.
Yep.
I would like to train in my resolve.
Okay. That's the Mark 1 XP for that. And Griffin,
Okay.
you said you were doing one?
Wait, why would
So-
I only get 1 instead of 2?
Because
2 is for prowess because of the bonus we have for the crew or some crap.
yeah, the crew has a training bonus in prowess. You
So
can you can upgrade like if you get a crew upgrade, you could put
Yeah.
one into training resolve if you want.
Okay, that's fine.
I have a question real quick, Matt, just to make sure that I'm not giving myself, just that I understand why I'm supposed to be giving myself experience points.
Mhm.
I like say that I make a survey roll. I would only give myself an insight XP if that was a desperate position, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then I would then also get just XP to assign however I want every time that I address a challenge of tracking or violence, express my beliefs to the blah, 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 right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
And
So could I then potentially give myself one for my downtime activity since I've made Ulf my like target and I'm actively trying to hunt and pursue him, or no?
yeah. So when you do your XP at the end of a session, it's up to you how to interpret those bullet points.
Okay.
And if you've addressed one of those multiple times, you get 2 XP for one of those bullet points.
Oh, 2 XP for one of them.
So read what it says. At the end of each session, for each item
Yeah.
below, mark 1 XP, or instead mark 2 XP if that item occurred multiple times.
Oh, I thought it was just saying like add 1 and 1 and get 2. No.
No, so
two-
if you solved something through violence multiple times, mark 2. You don't mark 3 or however many times, you just mark 2. But
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so you can.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get that. Okay.
Okay, so I would like to spend a coin to increase my healing roll. It says after the roll you can increase by 1 effectiveness.
So you are bumping it from 1 to 2.
From my healing roll did 2, so it'd be from 2 to 3.
Okay. You don't want to roll again.
No, because that would just be an extra stress.
Oh,
Because I'm not going to go to a doctor, so it takes stress for me to try and do it by myself.
right. Gotcha.
And then I'd like to spend my last coin to indulge my vice again.
Okay. Let's see the roll. All right. That's more manageable.
There was no way for me to overindulge there, so I figured it was fine.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think we're done with downtime activities.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So let's put our brains together for the crew sheet, marking XP for crew advancement. Did you execute a successful smuggling or acquire new clients or contraband sources?
That
Yes.
depends on what we want to classify Kirkland as.
No,
Yeah.
I got a contraband source.
Oh, true.
You did?
Yeah, the moonshine.
Yeah, the whiskey thing. Or,
Yeah, but you did that last time. And
No,
you
but
got
she
XP
worked
for
out
that.
like the
Yeah, I worked out the root and the doings and
the buyers.
You worked out the buyers. Okay, we'll mark XP for that. Contend with challenges above your current station.
Dude, that kid was a fucking ninja.
For real, holy crap.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna agree.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
We're
So-
starting to develop a
mean-
new one, guys.
Brutal and daring.
It's pretty brutal. We assaulted a kid.
Yeah, true, that's
And
true.
Also your hound was sniping people from the rooftops.
It's true.
So do you want to mark 1 or 2 XP for that?
I mean,
Well,
I
would
was
love
sending.
Mark II, just
I don't know.
because.
I was sending Ulf a message, but
Yeah.
that's up to.
So yeah, we can mark 2 for that. So that's 1 crew advancement. And then express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
I
Not
don't want to
really.
say yes, but we kind of did.
We have a tendency to overcomplicate things, and we definitely did that in the best way possible.
That is the.
And we
essential nature of this.
also started out on a really high note and then barely scraped by, which seems to be the trend.
Okay. So essential nature. Got it.
So
Very
we
scrappy.
advanced, you said, right, Matt?
Yeah. So
Can you explain that again?
I'm getting to that. Yes.
Okay.
Because I have to look it up. So crew creation, score downtime. I don't know, some of the ways they organize this. I have no idea where to look for this now. James, help me out.
Yeah, what?
I'm looking for how to advance the crew. Advancement, there it is, crew advancement.
Oh, I mean, you just get another special ability whenever you go through it. I think
So it's not like up a tier. It's just it's a special ability.
Hold on.
I thought so.
Hang
Thought it
on.
was just like
Hang on. Hang on. I found
Well, hang on. He found it.
it. Yes.
Let him read.
When you fill your crew advancement tracker, clear the marks and take a new special ability or mark 2 crew upgrade boxes.
Oh.
So, you can get a new special ability, or you could mark 2 different kinds of training. What is? Let's see. I can detail out some of these upgrades for you. So, smuggler rigging. 2 of your carried items are perfectly concealed. You could carry 1 load of contraband and a pistol perfectly concealed, even against a pat down. Where's that?
It's up in.
Okay, yep. Camouflage. Your vehicles are perfectly concealed
Okay,
when
I'm
at rest. They blend
Definitely
in
not looking at the ring.
as part of the environment or as uninteresting civilian vehicles. Elite rovers. All of your cohorts with rovers get +1 dice to quality rolls for rover-related actions. Barge. Add mobility to your lair. You can move it to a new location as a downtime activity. Steady. Each PC gets +1 stress box. That costs 3 upgrades to unlock. And then vehicle. All smugglers start with a vehicle. When a vehicle is upgraded with a second box, it also gets armor. And then there's some upgrades. So most of these are pretty self-explanatory. You can get a cohort as an upgrade. You can.
We could get a vault since we get to put 2 in. Vault's 2. You guys want a vault? Because we just maxed out the coin not too long ago.
Yeah,
I'd be
but we
fine
don't
with it.
have any cohorts at all.
Okay, I mean, true.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we can pay coin for cohorts. Which.
But
seems
wait,
to
so
get more.
what's the difference between like a cohort and a contact?
Cohorts work for us. Contacts just like us as like friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you wanted like a gang of thugs, that's a cohort. If you want you like your own personal physiker, that's a cohort.
Okay.
So and also take note, the mastery upgrade, which requires 4 to unlock, lets you advance your action ratings up to 4. Otherwise they're capped at 3.
Okay.
Quality upgrades let you enhance the quality of your items. So if you wanted to enhance the quality of your weapons, that would happen there. Basically, it gives you a +1 to the quality to the tier rating when you're looking at stuff. So like, if you're trying to pick a lock from a higher tier, a higher tier faction, and you've got tier 0 lock picks, it might take you a long time. Let's see what else. You could unlock your vault, which lets you stash coin away. So increases your storage capacity for coin to 8, and a second upgrade increases it to 16. Workshop for tinkering and alchemy, as well as a small library of books, documents, and maps. Yeah, so to recruit a new cohort, you need to spend 2 upgrades. You can get a gang, which is adepts. Those are like scholars, tinkerers, occultists. Rooks, which are con artists, spies, and socialites. Rovers, which are sailors, carriage drivers, and scavengers in the Deathlands. Skulks, which are scouts, infiltrators, and thieves. And thugs, which are killers, brawlers, and roustabouts.
Instead of getting the crew upgrades also, guys, we could take a special ability. Renegades, we can add an axe rating to finesse, prowl, or skirmish, which would help us all out.
Like one
That-
action rating.
Yeah, so you get 1 point to put into either finesse, prowl, or skirmish.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, which would help out a lot because I know 2 of you only have 1 point in prowess, which if you put into some not one of those one of the ones you already have a point in, you get 2 for when you try and resist physical harm.
Yeah.
Or I think one of you is actually pretty good at finesse or decently good. You can become better.
I'm pretty good at that. I'm okay. I've got 2. No, I've got 1.
And also Biddy
Yeah.
and I think also 13. Your vice goes off of your lowest action rating.
Yeah.
So if you put a point into something other than finesse in your prowess, you'd get 2 dice roll whenever you indulge vice instead of just the 1. So to give you a better chance at clearing your stress.
I don't know if that's worth it yet because I haven't had very high stress yet.
You haven't, but then you could not really care too much about getting extra stress.
Yeah.
You'd be able to push yourself more and stuff because you can always be like, well, I get 2, so I have a better chance at clearing all this stress.
Yeah.
Something
I-
to think about.
I really like the idea of the leverage. Your crew supplies contraband for other factions. Your success is good for them. Whenever you gain rep, gain a +1 rep. And we do want to go up the ranks pretty quickly.
It's true. I like either of those as. I mean, because they both apply the same principle of like help us onto the fast track. Just depends if we want it like as the crew or as like each of us as the crew members.
Well, as we were told, don't get super attached to your people. It's more for the good of the crew sort of deal. Right? We're expendable, basically.
Not expendable, but your character's in a story, and characters come and go sometimes.
So expendable.
Expendable.
And
Sure.
that's gonna kill all of us.
That's what
Absolutely.
you said about Vathic, Matt, and he's still here 2.5 years later.
Yeah, really.
Not for lack of trying.
I guess either the vault. No, I'll take that back. Either another one in vehicle and one in workshop, or renegades or leverage is my vote. So that's a lot of options, but I also don't want to make a real decision. So
Okay.
you guys, your turn.
I vote. I'm all about just furthering my character, not the crew. That's because that's just how my character is. So I say 1 in training and 1 in resolve training and 1 in insight training, so we get a bonus to any of the ones we train.
Oh, that's perfect.
Or
Yeah.
the renegades special ability, like I said.
I actually really like the training idea. I take it
I
back.
was
Do
I was
that.
actually going to suggest that as well. Before we mentioned the renegades and the leverage, but I would say any of those three is a good idea. I think training maybe pays off a little bit more in the long run than renegades.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely, because training is a boost to the crew no matter what. So even if we had new characters that are part of the crew, you still
Yeah.
get that bonus to the training.
By the way,
Yeah.
personal is playbook training. You can actually train your playbook in your off time. I meant to mention that.
Yeah.
And
I've done that a bit.
so that would be 2 XP to your playbook instead of, but that's just, but also, so I just want to throw that out there. But Insight
Yeah.
and Resolve are also good things to train.
I mean, do we want to just do that and put so that they're all we get 2 in all of them when we train,
Yeah.
or do we want
I'd
to
say,
swap
yeah.
one out for playbook?
Well, we can save playbook for next time around because we hopefully will go up again and we can just put one in there then. But I think it's more important to have our points go up before the playbook, so at least it's all even. Because like, I would have liked to have gotten 2 points in my resolve training earlier, because everyone else was getting 2 points, and I felt kind of left out.
Yeah,
I mean, I say we put the points in training then.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind you max out your abilities at 3.
Yep.
Until you get the mastery. So.
Yep.
Cool. Now I'll give you guys a couple minutes to fill in your XP for tonight's session. I'll be here to ask if you want to ask me questions, and feel free to share any upgrades that you're buying with the group or not.
I already added XP, so
Okay.
wasn't
Yeah.
much this time.
I did as well.
Feeling better about the amount of XP you got? 13.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
And I think I mentioned this earlier, but when you mark that XP, you can put it in,
Yeah, anything that you want.
into your attributes.
I do have a question though for Phoebe's favor. Could I at least have like one thing of the clock since we did that mission for her, or should I just keep it at 0?
I keep it at 0 because
Okay. I figured.
you're quite
Why not?
good, yeah.
I'm quite the not likable person right now.
You're not likable. You're just not likable.
Hey babe, do you like a guy who punches kids and then drugs them? Because man, am I the one for you.
What's your opinion on children?
What's your stance on child abuse?
All right.
What's your
Um,
stance?
So, Matt, if I feel like I have sufficiently gone all the way through my playbook advancement, what does that get me?
That's if you leveled up your playbook advancement, like all the
Yeah.
sticks in it, you get an extra special ability.
Okay. So I feel like I have done that.
Well, do you mark you mark those ticks, right? That's what the playbook advancement is.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
there's,
just want to make sure I was
bookmark.
putting that in the right way, in the right spot. That's
Because I did a desperate action that got marked above, and then I did deception, and then I
Also,
also influenced someone. And
I
then
was gonna say we all got a stash from the crew advancement, by the way, so you can add one to your stash.
Is that right?
Yeah, it says it under the coin thing in the crew.
Oh, well, so I think that's worded funny. I think you actually get more than that.
It's one stash plus 2 per tier, but we don't have a tier yet, so
Okay.
it would just be 1 to our stash.
nice.
So I'm going to get the something a little on the side
That's why I brought it up. I figured you were gonna get that.
upgrade. Yes. So that I would get 2 more stash.
So the profits is something we're going to want to let the rest of the crew know.
Nah.
Okay, that is me. I'm done. I have done my done things. And
Cool.
I really have to go to bed because I have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
night, Diddy.
Hey, Matt, I have a question about the wording of one of my special abilities.
Sure.
It says it's for focus. It says you may expend your special armor, so that would go